Ooh.
ass, and I had a shit day.
The
Let's fucking
day
go.
is hot, audience. The day is audience.
Yeah. What else is new? That's what the summer is about. I'm just kind of used to it because I've lived in the fucking ass crack of the United States for my entire life. But anyways, I did actually have a really bad day at work today, so I do not want to get pissed off even further. So yeah.
Yep.
So for our first topic of the night, I won't be engaging too much until it is my turn at the end of that topic. Because I only want to bring up one thing, just one thing, and I'll be good.
Let me see. Terminator Zero.
But audience, so if you didn't know, sometimes you get requested, like not requested, like you're given random posts onto your timeline on Twitter, right? Assuming you don't follow like every single person in the world. And so I went on to the Twitter account, the Comic Fanatic Twitter account, because I run the socials. And guess what was the first thing I saw there?
What?
I saw the Trump Biden fan fiction bullshit.
Yeah.
And then now I'm seeing someone doing a summoning circle for an ear infection. It's great.
Everybody
now I got
has
Roblox.
a fan.
Oh my god, not them dressed up as the fucking. Oh god, I'm not.
Is there any character that hasn't had a fan fiction of them with a random person?
Not to my knowledge. Oh.
I still remember. I still remember
Oh
when
my
I found
god.
out that. I still remember when I found out that there were some Sasuke Hinata shippers out there, and I'm like, you know, those two could be considered cousins, right? Like,
Someone made a keychain.
It's like I don't think anytime they've had a conversation and the two times they've talked, because Sasuke really said anything warmly about her. I think even in Boruto, the only time they talk, Sasuke goes up to her and is like, "Hey, your husband here?" Nah, I don't know.
Someone made a keychain of two political leaders who have been killed, like assassinated, and one attempted assassination, and it's a keychain. So that's funny. Ooh, someone also made a biblically accurate candy bracelet, so that was cool. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Also, audience, I will be working on my cosplay, so sorry if I seem a little bit out of it today. So yeah.
But yeah. I forgot what it was. Oh, I just saw the Terminator Zero trailer. That's right, audience. Sometimes you don't know this, but sometimes I do stuff as we're doing the chat, so I can talk about it. You know, for all you know, right now as we speak, I could be watching My Adventures of Superman in the corner.
Are you?
No, I don't. I usually watch it before we start. But
also, we're going to be doing a little something different with the formatting this tonight, audience.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, each topic we're going to try seeing if we could bring up a new pick for each topic. So.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We talked. Actually, fun fact: we used to do this. If you go back and watch our our edited videos, we used to do this, but because we're live, we just didn't know how to. So. I love the editing in those videos. I actually take pride in a lot of those edits. It's like it would take me.
Yeah, well, the audience never got the second half of my pride issue.
It's true. They didn't.
They never did. If I could figure out how to like loosely edit the freaking raw footage that I still have, I could probably post it.
But
God damn it.
the editing for I miss our old thumb. I gotta get that program back. I gotta do the thumbnails myself again.
You liked it when it had to draw a new freaking thing every single fucking week.
No, that's not. No, because at some point I just used whatever you drew, or I just put like the topics in the corner. Like if you go back and watch Fanatic audience, look up Fanatic Reviews Flash 2023, and I used the one of the stills, and I put the Flash behind me. Oh my god, that was so good.
Bro, like, audience, if you weren't here for the beginning of our podcast, Denver's on here. This was like right when we started, right when everyone decided to drop their movies.
Yep.
So I would draw a new chibis, because I used to draw primarily chibis of our little doodles, and I would have to do that every single week. So one week I would have to do say Little Mermaid, then Spider-Man, then whatever else, and then like Barbie, which that one wasn't chibi. I just genuinely had fun doing that one. I just thought it was funny to put Austin on the roof of the car. So
the stuff we thought we could handle in our younger days, audience,
I am one person,
I don't think
remember, audience, if you go back to watch our Flashpoint review, remember, it's a thumbs up if you agree with Cryptid, it's a thumbs down if you agree with the other party.
Wow, this is
also, if you watch me and my friends' Glorious Masquerade event talk, please interact with it, because I had a lot of fun doing that.
Cool.
I like how I put you as the. I'm looking back. I like how I put you as the poster boy for the secret invasion story that we all hated. But I put you.
For Cryptid?
Yeah, but I put as a front man for it.
That show was mad.
It still surprised me to this day that we found one person who actually liked that show.
Who?
I forgot their name, but we did find one person who actually liked that show. So
that's why I'm saying who.
I forgot their name.
Are they in the comments? Are they in the comments of this video? Do you know?
No, they're not in the comments. They were one of our previous guests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Um.
By the way, you guys can't hear anything in the background, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Just double checking.
Listen, I don't know what the context was. I named this one "Cryptid Hates Captain America."
Oh yeah, that was the one issue of that
one book
Cold War.
Oh yeah.
The one that flipped me over the railings. When that Cold War event came out, and I'm like, you blew it up. You blew it up. I hated everybody who wrote that book, Colin and Kelly, and I even extend that to the editor. I don't want to name her name. But I had to recently find out that she was the one who assigned these two on Captain America, and that her first promotion as editor in Marvel was being the editor of Captain America. And she's like, yeah, let me put Colin and Kelly on this book because I really love their premise. Like, yeah. Audience, if you want to see the most amount of rage I ever got reading a Captain America book, that was the second most angriest I ever got reading a Cap book.
Also, audience, if you missed me talking about Twisted Wonderland, like each book that I finish, please let me know, because it'll give me motivation to finish book 4, so I can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
and if you don't care, cool. I don't have to worry about it.
Cool.
I'm trying to save storage on my phone anyways.
It's been 10 minutes, so I think it's time.
Just hold on a sec. Do.
But yeah, if you want to just go back to, because I know a lot of our stuff is contemporary, so the news of yesterday won't be relevant to you today. But our reviews are timeless, so go back and watch some of our reviews. We got a whole playlist of them called Fanatic Reviews.
Audience, if you want me to fight with Cryptid about a certain gay boy Captain America, please go find the videos where I talk about Aaron Fisher's book, like his Marvel Unlimited book, because it was great. I got really upset and I told everyone to shut the fuck up.
Well, listen, hey, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But
with that, I guess we could just start off the show, audience. Let's see. All right. So, welcome the PNN Live. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415. I totally forgot to do an intro, so moving on.
And it is I, Jake Tylenol, back once again, fresh from Metropolis, where xenophobia has won. But
Austin is dead. We killed him.
Austin is dead. Walking off the wall.
Yeah, he's just dead now. Regardless of that, he'll be back later. I'll bring him back. Don't worry. I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and I am con crunching right now for one of the biggest conventions in the world. So, woo! And yeah, that's us. That's the introduction. You should know us by now if you've been here for a while.
Together, we form the Fanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the weeks. But on Mondays, only Mondays, we talk about just the news. Not
we do talk about the comics.
No, just not the political news. That's a bit much. But we talk about the news of the comics world and the media world and all the other things to hear about. So,
all things nerdy, audience.
All things nerdy, all things fanatic.
Yeah.
We have some announcements, and this is not written in stone, but we believe that Wednesday we will have our first anime night. We'll be talking
about
Get to see me talk about old anime for the first time on here because they're old.
We'll be talking about some mainstream stuff, but don't worry. For those of you who are bored of the mainstream, Witch has got you covered, and he's going to be covering some really interesting books and really interesting shows, from my understanding.
I got you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for me to talk about a really bad OVA and pretty good OVA for the most part, a manga to the really bad OVA, and also if I can finish some of it. If I can get to volume 2, then I will definitely talk more about the manga of the second OVA.
Yeah. Chances are, I make no promises, but I might cover Boruto. I'll see. I like part 2. I just don't know if I'm confident enough because I don't know the lore enough to really be a master. As shout out to Instant Hammer, but I'll see what I can do.
There's no shame if you ended your Naruto with Shippuden, audience. No shame in that.
Because I never got. So you good?
But hey, listen, part 2 of Boruto, 2 Blue Vortex slaps. Listen, I might cover the Dragon Ball manga. I mean, I like where it is right now. We'll see. And if all else fails, I'll definitely be covering Pokemon. So
you never go wrong with Pokemon.
Never go wrong with Pokemon. Cryptid, do you have anything you want to announce that you might be covering?
One thing I'm going to be covering is some beautiful, delicious looking food being made in a dungeon, and I'll let you guys figure what out that series is.
That's true. Yeah. We also could be covering One Piece too. We have some One Piece fans here, so maybe we'll be covering One Piece. I'm making promises and putting words in their mouth, but maybe. Who knows? Just how about you show up on Wednesday and you find out.
Yeah. So. And also show up on Tuesday when we do our comic
audience,
reviews.
I am putting art. I did draw art specifically for this.
And if you want to see the art, you can always hit our social media page, which is the master of. So.
Well, first of all, my thread is not wanting to work with me today, but I can definitely give the socials if you guys are so nice to me.
Go for it.
You can subscribe to the YouTube channel because it always helps out. You can also follow us on the Twitter, as well. It's Comic Fanatic 69. We do post things on there, mostly just updates. Sometimes when I'm feeling it, I will post other things. But 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be the socials, updates and all that jazz. If you just want to follow me and bother me to make more art, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U because I'm not changing it. So, oh my god, so sorry about that. I just cut my thread. It's great. Anyways, you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at witch_of_Jotunheim. I do post things on there. Maybe if you're lucky, I'll remember to post pictures from San Diego Comic-Con this year. So stay tuned for my San Diego Comic-Con endeavors. We're gonna have fun. If you want to try to find Austin, like I told y'all, he's currently dead. We had to kill him off panel. Sorry, guys. And I mean off panel. I'm not talking about on panel. Because why would we do that? If you want to follow Jake, he is currently hanging out with me in Alfheim because I told him to meet me here.
Sure.
Because I said so.
Yeah.
We're just chilling. We had some lunch earlier. we got into some arguments with some other elven people. He didn't understand what they were saying, but I did. It was great. So yeah, if you want to find Cryptid, he's
Pledge
probably
allegiance to an
sucking
eagle 3
America's
times, and you'll summon me, audience. There
No,
you
he's
go.
probably sucking the dick of the United States of America. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to like make the bread a little bit so I don't have to like do the whole
As a
thing.
man of peace once said, if I had to save the world, the country by eating every dick in this island, I'll do it. Hey, patriotism at its finest, So,
I
all
guess.
right,
Still.
but alrighty then. Speaking of patriotism, let's start us off with the topics, audience. And what better way to start us off than a little thing called Captain America: Brave New World
God
trailer?
bless the MCU.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Now, a little disclaimer, audience. I'm a big Captain America fan, right? But when it comes to Marvel movies or like movies I'm really, really hyped for, I tend to not watch the trailers because they tend to spoil a lot. But in this situation, given all the reshoots and delays, I don't even know what was happening in this film at this point. I felt like I really needed to see this trailer to kind of see is this going in a good direction? I've learned what the storylines were going to be. Okay, I'm a little bit cautious about that. But then after watching this trailer, I'm like, oh, this is a good ass trailer. I'm like, okay, I got a little bit hype here,
And after
Jake,
watching this trailer, I can say, Cryptid, I told you they would address the Eternal's head, but you didn't believe me.
I forgot
told
about
you
it.
they would.
what after 4 years, Jake? Come
It doesn't
on.
matter. I
Well,
told you.
technically, they actually did bring it up in She-Hulk, but it was so
Oh,
it didn't really even
that
matter.
that was a blink and you miss it moment. If it should have been brought anywhere, it should have been brought up in the Marvels, but they
Well, listen,
didn't.
the
They
point
were
is,
too busy in space, dude.
I told you it was too big to ignore. It's here. It's been addressed.
Also,
Uh,
besties,
if it,
spoiler alert for the trailer. We do get another member of the Hulk family. I'll bring up the Hulks later because it's something that I
Mhm.
want to bring up.
It's in the teaser, after all.
Guys, all the Hulk fans, you will not be disappointed. Yeah.
Is
Anyway,
he crushing the shield in the poster? I don't think Hulk.
yeah, he is.
Yes, he's bending it. I mean, that is a damn good poster, man.
I
That
don't
just
think
makes me wonder, huh?
I mean, it's a poster, but I don't think
Yeah.
Hulk can bend the shield, can he?
Well, you gotta remember, the shield in the movie is different from the comics because, in the comics, it's a completely one of a kind alloy. Vibranium blended with proto adamantium and a mysterious X element in it. But in the movies, it's just 100. Yep, it's just 100% vibranium.
Okay. Sorry.
So I kind of think that would be cool. If this Hulk is just so powerful that he actually bends the shield a bit. I'm like, ooh, or maybe it has something to do with the radiation Red Hulk emits because let's not forget that's what makes Red Hulk different. The angrier he gets, the more radiation and heat he exhibits.
Just saying, my Captain's shield doesn't bend; it breaks. Okay, this is John Walker's shield.
Hey. It took blows from super soldiers, Jake. You damn well know it.
This is the dumb one he did in the garage. Okay, he said, "I'm Captain America."
Hey, yeah.
Okay, so Jake, in John Walker's defense, I'm not really defending him all that much, but in his defense, so did Aaron Fisher, and he got superpowers. So
Yeah,
he didn't
I was
want
about
the
to.
superpowers, but he took the
I was about to
superpowers.
say.
Like, okay.
I was about to say if even before he had superpowers, god dang, nobody wants to bring that up on Aaron Fisher. The same way they made fun of John. And hey, if John came out with a trash can that he literally finger painted on, I would have agreed with all y'all about that stupid. That's
Also, in
ridiculous.
Aaron's
How the
defense,
fuck
he is homeless. Well, not
And
now because he is in Avengers Academy, but he was.
The
for the
point
longest
is, my Captain has the unbendable shield. Okay, because America's will doesn't bend to Red
But
Hulk.
it should. But Jake, it should mean something when he does get fractured. Because remember, when it came to Civil War, T'Challa was able to scratch the shield. Marvel done.
That was
And
the same
and
thing.
when he fought against Thanos, he broke the shield. It had to happen at some point, you
Here
know.
are your two examples, right? Vibranium scratches vibranium, and then Thanos with space metal came down and broke that shit. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. It's yeah.
And
Now, Jake, what your issue is the fact that you got too used to whatever the hell Mark Ruffalo is playing right now. You got to remember, the Hulk is savage, man. In this movie, it's giving us a savage Hulk. All right.
Okay, remember that Ultimate
Red,
Avengers movie we watched? Remember the Ultimate
yeah.
and not once did Hulk bend that shit. Listen, if he broke the shield, that's different. I'm just saying, my shield doesn't.
He lifted Mjolnir by force.
That's true, but that was the Ultimate.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. I
That's
think
the ultimate count.
Yeah. No, this one's gonna play by different rules, but I think it will be pretty. That's gonna be an insane moment if this version of Hulk was able to bend a bit of the shield because you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just playing around. Like I said,
If it does happen, it needs to be a glorious moment, like an OMG moment, you know?
You know what I think is funny though for the past few years of the MCU? You know what's funny to me? Just personally, because of laws and such. I just think it's funny that they're bringing in all these Hulk characters and putting him in the most randomest ass places because Universal didn't want to give up the rights to the Hulk so that they can make a Hulk movie.
I don't know why Universal didn't want to make a Hulk movie.
Like at this point, we could have had certain characters that would have made sense for this movie. Well, not just for this movie, but for other movies in general. But no, Universal is like, fuck you.
No, I said this since
what?
After 2012, Hulk. I don't know if people remember, but like Hulk was a big character after the Avengers, and the fact that Universal did say, "Hey, make us a new movie, chop chop," like that was great.
I think it was like, the one that we made was so ass that we're like, no.
Like people have reference for like what Thor used to be, but like no one cared about Thor till Thor 3. It was Iron Man, Cap, and Hulk. Those are the three people care about in the Avengers.
And Guardians of the Galaxy.
But I'm saying on the Avengers. Not as like.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but keep in mind, like, on that, given where Hulk went in his route and the other Hulk, like his cousin, like the direction they went with those two, I'm kind of glad that Red Hulk and the leader were able to branch away from that because they're being treated as serious characters. Yeah, he's being treated like who was that character from Captain America comics? He's almost like Slender Man, but I just don't. He's on the tip of my tongue, but I forgot. And he's kind of giving me those vibes, you know.
I'm cashing in my W because I did say in Captain America they would treat Hulk more seriously, and you didn't believe me at the time because we're talking about She-Hulk, and I said it would.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to cash that in.
But, and I also want to cash in the fact that I knew where She-Hulk was going within the first 5 minutes of that show. So It took me 5 minutes, audience, to know where this show was going. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. Audience, the bitch ass hater. Hey, can you guys let me know when we're getting to the end of this conversation? Gotcha. I'm gonna bring up my one point.
No, we still got a lot more to dissect in this. All right, so what we saw here, we got some pretty good action scenes. I mean, like that scene where Sam was able to slice that Jet's wing with his own wing. I'm like, oh, that was nice. And you know what? This is an upgrade right here. And you know what? I was iffy about the whole mask situation because when we first saw the mask, the first thing that popped up. Yeah, the first thing that popped up into my mind was, oh, this is what they're going to do for the international posters, like they did with that guy's name from Black Panther, and what's that guy's name from Star Wars? They took him out of the poster. Finn? Yeah. I thought they were going to do that.
Just for the Chinese posters, but
Yep, but still. But then when I saw the fact that Sam Wilson's going to be like, he's going to go Mach speed, I'm like, okay, now I can see why he needs to wear that mask,
Yeah, Someone who's like skydived before, like falling at a high altitude very fast, like you'll feel the wind in your lungs, so you won't even be able to breathe. So him going that fast, he probably doesn't that fast.
Yeah.
Plus, he isn't a conventional speedster, so I could see why he would need to wear a helmet.
You're breaking the sound barrier at that point. That breaks skins. If anybody's familiar with Baki the Grappler, there's like this one martial arts karate guy who was finally able to perfect a technique where he was able to throw a punch that breaks the sound barrier, but it also completely rips all the flesh off his forearms. I'm like, oh good lord. Okay. So now, that mask. Yeah, that mask is warming up to me, and we did get. Yeah.
No, I could still say it's fucking ugly.
I think it's. I still think. I suspect it's still for the Chinese market, but it was a clever story way to have it in, if it was. So.
Yeah, true. If you have to make those sorts of changes, okay, just make it make sense,
Yeah.
Let's see. We also got to see a blink and you miss it moment with Joaquin Torres, which, he has Sam's wings from the TV show, but green. So excited to see what they do with Joaquin. It was just a loss, the fact that he's not going to be a Falcon hybrid,
Yeah.
But you know how they want their realism.
I know, but that was supposed to be Joaquin's thing, like to separate him from Sam.
Play up the fact that Sam is like not. Well, we know that's what's going to be the theme. Like, I'm not Steve, and he should be over this, which is why I'm glad when Ross says that, he says, "Yeah, you're right. I'm not Steve. I'm
tired. Yeah, I'm tired of having to answer that. I'm tired of having to prove myself. All right,
Past that point, but I think it's time to start showing the differences. Like Steve, he can do a fight all day. But like Sam, he's like a mortal man, and I'm sure he could keep fighting as long as he can. But like, how does that affect him in a fight? He's gonna get tired. Like, is it gonna be like Daredevil where he gets tired more? I feel like long stretches. Like, I do wonder if they're gonna factor those things in because like the action scenes for obvious reasons can't look the same as Steve. How does he compensate?
Yep.
So I think those would be cool things to do.
All I just want to say is when I watched Black Widow, an ordinary woman, she was able to survive things and ordeals that I didn't even think Steve Rogers will be able to survive. What
the Black Widows had to go through was completely different, but
trading. But they didn't have any augmentations. What I'm saying,
as far as
had a final battle in the sky.
The movie was very unclear if they went through that type of augmentation to like super strength and something like that. Because if they had said that, I think a lot of those scenes would have been fine. Like her falling and hitting everything on the way down, I was like, okay, does she have super strength? Like, what the fuck? But
I mean, I remember when Steve, in Captain America 2, he jumped out of the elevator, despite even using the shield as a cushion. When he fell to the ground, like he still felt the impact of that. But then you see Natasha, like she falls off the roof of a building, she's hitting every AC unit or staircase along the way before she hits the ground, and she just walks up. I'm like, what?
Like, what kind of I wanted the Black Widow movie to be good, however, it was just not.
Yeah, I just needed
I love the character moments between Natasha and her family, quote unquote, and all that stuff. I liked that. However, some things I just didn't really like. And it didn't give Yelena the character that she deserved.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a me thing. And oh my god, if this thread does not want to fucking work with me, I'm gonna be pissed off.
I just needed a passing line of just like they had super strength, but that's neither here nor there.
Let's go back to the Captain America trailer. Let's see. We got through that. The leader. I'm just worried by the time we see his face, no matter what the face is going to look like, a lot of people are going to like immediately hate on it or meme it and like say, look, it looks cheap.
It's like Modok. It's like what are you gonna do? Like that's what he looks like. I don't know what. Like I can imagine somebody like 40 or something. The usual hater channels that are going like saying, look, this is cheap, this is poorly animated, the CGI. I'm like, what design is there going to be to satisfy you? Like, it's same thing with the Modok.
You know,
Yeah.
like he's supposed to look like that. Like, yeah, he looks
Yeah.
stupid, but still.
Yeah.
Or when people
That's-
kept thinking about Beast in the Marvels, I'm like, well, that's just Beast. You know what I mean? Like, that's just,
And plus,
that's,
I
Yeah.
don't think they wanted to do like hours of prosthetics just for a cameo. So
Yeah.
I was okay with
What-
the CGI.
Given how old the actor is, I completely concur. Like, yeah, if he doesn't want to do the
And
makeup,
also
he's
for like
not-
Pip the troll, he's a fucking troll. Who the fuck cares?
yeah,
Yeah. So,
like I
But
said,
I
I
hope
just,
him or Star Fox again because I hate both.
I think I saw,
Mhm.
I think I saw a picture. Like, did the trailer actually show Leader's full face, or we just see like him with the green?
we saw the back of his head, but like a couple months ago, we did see like ink blots of what each person is going to look like some promotional art, right? And we did see the leader's face. I just don't have it with me, so you might want to look
Go
at
look
it
for it.
yourself. It looks like he's not going to have the outrageously big head. Like he's still wearing a cap, you know. He's still wearing a hat, so it's just going to be.
You can have an abnormally large ass head and still wear a hat.
Well, the hat should give you an idea as to how big it is, you know, and the fact that he's walking about inconspicuously, you know, leads me to believe that it's not going to be that ridiculously large, you know.
Yeah, maybe it's just gonna be fat. He's gonna have a fat head, not like a big head.
Fat head, and then the rows of people are going to make videos about that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm already braced myself, you know.
Yeah,
Like-
like I said, it's a no-win scenario because you can't like just not do the leader because people are gonna be like, well, why didn't you make it? But if you made him 1-to-1, people would just be like, that's fucking hideous. The MCU's being cheap. So I don't.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
upset they took out the Serpent
Yeah.
Society because you could have really played in with that.
This
I
was
don't know.
they would just be.
I don't know if they are taking the Serpent Society off.
They did.
Like
They literally posted an article saying that they're taking them out.
that was a rumor. They didn't confirm.
If they're in the movie, they're just gonna be opener villains. They're gonna be like what Backtrack the Leap was.
Botrock, yeah. I mean, you don't need them to be in depth or anything. I mean, Seth Rollins is going to be playing the role of Botrock the Leaper. You just put him in the film for a fan service fight moment. You're not going to put him like in the next Avengers film or anything like that. You
You know
know.
what? Out of spite, put him in the next Avengers film.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think that would be cool. You know, I like the Serpent Society as villains, so but I have to be realistic. Like, they're not
I would
going to
have
bring
preferred them
Seth
over
Rollins.
certain other characters, but we'll get to
Yeah.
that later. We'll get to that another.
But
Gotcha. But
okay.
I'm just saying we should see more Hulk characters in this movie. But I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I'm probably
Gotcha.
my list is gonna be really incoherent, but I made a list of something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, but
let's see something else. Jake, do you have another point?
I just yeah, like I said, I think I'm interested in the movie.
Okay.
Does the trailer blow me away? But is interesting? Yes, I am interested to see where it goes. There's still many ways this could go wrong.
Yeah.
And so but like I said, the best I could hope for is that, especially after Deadpool, which would be like I think the only Marvel movie of the year.
Yeah. Remember, audience, originally this movie was actually supposed to come out this month, actually, you know, fitting for July. But I guess they looked through, like, they had some early screenings from some people, and they weren't that good. Most of which involved, like, the biggest problem I saw was the fact that it was too heavily one-sided political-wise. So they had to make some course adjustments. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, actually, it reminded me of something I wanted to talk about. So at this point, are we kind of sure that Secret Invasion is not going to be talked about or mentioned at this point?
There is a possibility it might be brought up like maybe once, but definitely not in this movie.
I don't think it's. I mean, it's such like a big deal. It should be talked about in this film of all films, but like, it's probably not going to be like.
It should have been brought up in the Marvels, but they completely glossed over it, and it seemed like this had to have been influencing Cap 4, but I think Marvel's just looking at that as like, okay, we recognize this movie, this Disney Plus show was a train wreck. So yeah,
Don't get me started on that freaking opening, man.
The problem with political thrillers is that people only like them if they can universally agree on all of them. Like, so I don't like if you're gonna do a whole message
Just
about alien immigration. At this
the,
point, it's probably not gonna
the,
sell well with the audience. It's probably gonna be a big thing because it's like just not something
the
people can all agree on.
the problem with that was like the mutant problem. The problem you have of mutants. They tried
Yeah,
making
which
that a
is like
one.
We
They
barely.
tried to
would.
make
Yeah,
they tried to make that a one-to-one comparison. Like, oh, look at these green people who are refugees who are trying to get into planet Earth. Like
yeah, but
no,
even
no,
though
no,
we have to talk
yeah.
about the fact that they have the ability to just hijack your entire world. And I don't mean this in like they could take your jobs. I mean like
And
no, they could steal your life. Like that's what I'm
yes,
saying. Like,
and there is a reason why the whole galaxy doesn't want these scrolls in their planet. You ever stop and think why? Like like
I
like
even
still
even
don't
Nick,
like. I don't got
even,
like depending on the book and
even
depending on if I care that much. I got nothing. I don't got a lot against the scrolls. Like yeah, in the comics, are they like 100% the good guys? Fuck no. But do I
yeah,
like the scrolls more than like the Kree and the Shi'ar pre-Empire and
mhm,
pre Marauders Volume
yeah,
2? I fucking
yeah,
despise them.
yeah,
I
yeah,
still have beef with the Shi'ar, man. They
yeah.
confuse every single
Yeah,
X-Men book I've ever read in my entire life.
yeah,
yeah, you had to be cautious when it comes to them. And for God's sakes, Nick Fury, he only agreed to help like what, a couple hundred, maybe a couple
I think a
thousand.
million. I
But
think he said a
but
million.
but but then that was funny because like he expected only that number, only to find out that his best friend Scroll actually smuggled in over 1 million. And
yeah.
Nick Fury's like, what? What?
We did not
Like,
agree on a million.
I
oh
think
Jesus.
so. The problem with the scroll plot again is like if you're gonna make them 1-to-1 again, it's just gonna be this political message that's gonna be divisive,
Hmm.
which I don't mind, but like I think as a whole, people don't really vibe with that. I think if you just
Yeah.
address the scrolls as they are, like, hey, these are a race of people who might be immigrants, sure, but they can shapeshift and take your life, and you would know.
I don't know.
I
I
think
just
Yeah.
I
going
think
off
that
of that. Sorry.
well, yeah. Let me finish this one thing. I think I think if you made the story about that, that would be more interesting. But I don't think they're going to, so I don't think it's gonna be a big deal in this movie. I think it'll be touched upon, but not really like a big deal. But yeah,
Like
sorry.
going
Hmm.
off of that, I wish that we would have gotten more screen time, I guess you could say, to learn more about the scrolls and everything like that before we got Secret Invasion. And I feel like you guys might
Yeah.
be able to agree with me on that.
I think my problem with
It was a rush. It was a rush production that you could tell that Marvel's like, we need to put some content on Disney Plus,
my
Marvel
problem
wise.
with Secret Invasion was that it was never gonna work as a. I don't say never. I just don't think. I don't think you can get audiences on board with what Secret Invasion was in the comics.
Yeah.
Essentially, to make it effective, you would have to tell people that some of these movies they watched, they were not watching the characters they thought they were. Basically,
Yeah, yeah.
imagine if you were watching
We,
Spider-Man No
we,
Way Home, and you found out actually
we
Spider-Man was scrolled the whole time. You'd be like, "What?"
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
We
you'd be
we
And
angry.
plus,
saw th-
like, you know how
we
many
saw
people were like, "Oh yeah, Don Cheadle's War Machine was a freaking
it
scroll." You know how long people have been
it
saying that, and then this made it true.
Well,
it
uh,
and great that you brought up that point because when they did that to Don Cheadle, everybody got pissed off because then they realized, oh, wait, you mean the War Machine that was in Endgame that bid farewell to his best friend Tony? That wasn't Rhodey?
right.
Oh, good Lord.
Secret Invasion by design undercuts whatever story you were reading and tells you that that wasn't the real person. So in a franchise like this, maybe it can work. I don't think it. I don't think it can the way the MCU had been set up. I just couldn't
Yeah, yeah.
imagine
We just
watching.
needed more time. That's
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine. I'm not saying like I'm not saying. Well, I'm not saying it's impossible. Yeah, you're right. Maybe if with more time it could have worked. But I just saying like there would be some movie you'd have to if you replace any of the major Avengers and found out the whole time there were a scroll from like this point to this point. Unless if it was Thor 4, and then maybe people would have been okay because like, haha, it wasn't the real Thor.
Mm.
There was no way people were going to be on board with it. I don't think, but
Yeah.
so
So yeah, that plot's going to be out the river at this point. Let's see what else about this trailer. Oh,
Red
we
Bull?
forgot about Isaiah Bradley.
I'm
Okay,
terrified.
so yeah, a lot of people. I don't know. Some people assume that like, oh, they're turning him to the bad guy, and I'm thinking, no, no. As a matter of fact, we got like a version of a spoiler script a couple months ago that ended up becoming true. The fact that like Isaiah was going to attempt to assassinate the president, but in that same spoiler, it stated that like Isaiah was suffering flashbacks from I guess his time in prison, and you
I
can
mean,
only do yeah, and you can only put a two and two comparison. The fact that yes, likely he was a sleeper agent that he didn't even know about.
he was probably
So
like I think like the most probable thing was the most probable thing that they could have done was have like the master like or someone learn about Isaiah like either before or after it was revealed
there you
in
go.
and the Falcon Winter Soldier, and then he basically used his mental illnesses against them, which is
Pretty,
really shitty, but I don't know, that's just a thought.
pretty much.
I want to bring
Hey,
this up.
you need to be one.
Imagine real quick. I want to bring this up as just like an example of why I don't think Secret Invasion would have worked. Imagine if Isaiah Bradley was a Skrull, and that was the one that
Oh,
met.
God.
no,
Just like,
we're not doing this
Exactly.
shit
Would you
again. We're not doing
you see-
this shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying though? It's like any character
Yeah.
you replace, you would have to be like, that sucks.
Wait. Jake, as a matter of fact, you kind of like remind me of one character that kind of could have saved her in the eyes of the audience if she was a scroll. Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, because like,
can see
audience, it surprised me that ever since the ending of Falcon Winter Soldier, all of a sudden there's a bunch of Sharon Carter fans popping up. Like, how dare you do this to Sharon Carter? I'm like, wait.
Like, where
Sharon
were you
is
guys
bro-
earlier?
I mean, like seriously, I've been a Cap fan for many, many years. Audience, like a lot of Cap fans agree Sharon is a weak character. Like,
You know what I would have done?
I hate to put it this way, but she's like the Ken of Captain America, So
You know what I would have done? I would have done this. All right. I might be bold here. Carol Danvers, Skrull.
Ooh.
I would have said after Captain Marvel 1, which that was her. She goes to space. The one that comes back in Endgame, that was a Super Skrull. That was like their attempt at Super Skrull, basically. And when we start the Marvels 2, we get to see the perspective of the real Carol who was still in space and never even made it to the battle of Endgame. I don't know. I think that would have been fun. But anyway.
Also, quick thing before we move on from that, audience, if you find any Prince Jan Funko Pops, because I know they exist, please send them my way because I want to buy one for me and my mom for Christmas. Thank you.
Audience, well, I'm gonna promise we'll stay on topic, but hey, who do you think would have been cool to be a Skrull the whole time, or do you think it just wouldn't have worked? But
you see, audience,
but I gotta break my point.
This is why Marvel needs to hire fanatics into their staff, audience.
That's why when they make the freaking Alpha Flight movie, they gotta bring in me. Also, for a Young Avengers project, bring in me because I know what's going on in Young Avengers.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Anyway,
any thoughts on Red Hulk? Any thoughts on Red Hulk before we get to Witch's segment?
I'm very interested in how Sam fucking Wilson is going to take down a Hulk, but we'll see.
That's why my list is important because I brought in a lot of diversity to it.
Sam Wilson, I'm okay with this fight because, like, hey, I don't want to see another mirror match. All right, like I kind of like to see what happens if you have a steel Pokemon versus a rock Pokemon. Or maybe even a flying Pokemon up against a psychic Pokemon, this and that,
And realistically, I guess Red Hulk shouldn't be as strong as Hulk because his thing is he just gets hotter the angrier he gets. That's really the problem.
Yeah.
It is a group of Marvel characters, like in the Marvel universe, that are known for getting punched by the Hulk. So I think Sam would be fine against Red Hulk, but like normal Hulk, no.
Well, if he's going to be fine getting punched by the Hulk, that suit better be made of vibranium. I'm telling you that right
now. The wings are like his costume, but times 3. Jake, come on! All right, they're 3 times the size of his costume.
You're telling me he can bend the shield of Captain America, but he's not gonna punch through those wings in one hit? Is that what we're getting at?
If Hulk could catch him, I mean, come on, you think, dude, a jet fighter firing missiles and bullets couldn't couldn't aim at Sam Wilson in the second Captain America
Listen,
movie.
you might be right about that, but we're trying to make a fight here. If you think he's not going to land one hit on Sam,
Yeah.
Oh, we
Oh,
should-
here's a hit I can imagine that'll happen. You
Okay.
see Sam go full breaking the sound barrier with a charging star, Jake. You know, it's the
he's
shit.
gonna do, remember Justice League Unlimited when
Yeah,
Flash ran around the world to punch Lex Luthor?
yeah. You know, that's what's going to happen. That's just going to be his main blow. It's the Red Hulk. You
all
know.
right, all right, all
So,
right.
hey, you just gotta add some creativity to these fights. You know, I
That's
mean,
true.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want like what Black Panther versus Killmonger situation where they're like literally a mirror match. You know. So,
No, I get you. I'm
um,
excited for the fight. I'm curious how they're gonna do it, but we'll see.
gotcha. All right, Witch, go ahead.
Okay, I need to do some. I need to preface this. One, do not shut me down. Okay, do not.
Go ahead.
Let me say my piece. Okay. Two, this list is in no particular order, besides like one of them, but that's because I really want her in the MCU because I think she would really fit in this movie. And three, this movie has a lot of controversies going behind it, and I want to say my list. Okay, we good?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Okay. So I posted this on Twitter the day that the trailer came out. So these are characters I would rather see in Cap 4 rather than that Nazi bitch. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, you will soon on Twitter. Okay? So, like I said, this list is in no particular order. If you want me to give any explanations on some of these characters, I will. There is one of these picks are from a mutual of mine. Hey, Lily, I know you're not watching this, but if you were, hey. So, first off, foremost, I would love to see Kara Kilgrave, aka Persuasion, or Purple Woman, depending on what era we're talking about. I think she would be a great pick to put in this movie. You can really play around with it, brings in Daredevil, Jessica Jones lore, also brings in other things as well, but besides the point. I would kill to see Yelena in this movie. I think she would be great in this movie. This next one might be a far fetch. I would like to see Echo again. I think she might work in this situation, but probably not. She's kind of doing her own thing at the moment, but whatever, it's fine. So these next two are Hulk characters because I did know that Red Hulk was going to be in this movie, so I thought let's bring in some Hulk characters in here. And before anyone's like, what about all the Jewish rep that everyone on Twitter is complaining about? Well, I got you, because these next two characters are canonically Jewish. Yay! So first off, foremost, Doc Samson. I personally think that he should have been in Endgame, but we'll circle back around to that later. Don't worry about it. If you don't know who he is, he's basically a Hulk character who is also a psychologist, but he's pretty cool. Trust me. For the longest time, he was just really strong. He was pretty strong and had green hair for a while. That was basically his character. Next off and foremost, Walter Lankowski, aka Sasquatch. And before you guys groan at me being like, stop putting Alpha Flight characters in here. Shut up. You can make a case for Walter. He was a Department H operative for the longest time before joining Alpha Flight. Next up, I think this would be a really good fit. Misty Knight. I think she would work really well here, knowing her character. I don't know her character like 100% well, but I know her character decently well. Next
she
up,
is a love interest of Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. See.
Mm.
Next up, is Mac Hudson, aka Guardian. He was also a Department H operative before becoming the leader of Alpha Flight. He's a government-based hero. It makes sense, okay? So next up, on this Twitter thread that I posted, I put Val Cooper and also Lorna Dane, aka Polaris. Polaris is also canonically Jewish. I got you there. Lorna was a part of the 90s X Factor, which was a government-based team. So it makes sense for her to be here. So this next one is a request for Lily, because I asked her if she wanted any cool characters in here on this list, and she said Bernie Rosenthal, who was Captain America's ex-fiance. I don't really know much about her, but I just wanted to bring that up for my friend Lily.
She's into me.
Next up, Crypt is gonna hate this one. Jennifer Walters, because this is basically a Hulk movie now.
No.
Um,
Oh no. Oh. I don't
anyways,
even want her to be in Daredevil.
anyways, I just wanted to bring that up. Next up is Eugene Milton Judd. He has both Hulk lore and Alpha Flight lore. He is known as Puck. And so far, at this very moment, this Twitter thread is not finished, but I will be planning on adding more when I think of more characters. Last but definitely not least is Scarlet Scarab from Moon Knight, because I loved her. A lot of people loved her, and I think she would be great in this movie. And it also gives more leeway for Moon Knight to be in the greater MCU. That is my list.
Okay.
We good?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about that list so far?
Thing about what's her name? Scarlet.
Scarab?
Got her name. Scarab. Yeah. 3 wing people. Hard to stand out when you have 3 wing people.
Well, she does kind of fly. But yeah, I can see your point there.
Yeah.
But
So.
yeah, I think actually out of all of these, I think either Misty Knight or Lorna Dane will be great picks. I forgot to add her, but also Heather McNeil Hudson as well. I think she would work out very well.
Out of that list, I would have liked that they brought in Missy Knight, but apparently it just all depends on it's all banking on the actress if she wants to come back to the MCU or not. Because remember,
or
she
they
was
could
in the
just be
Defenders.
cast. That is also an option, but I do agree.
Yeah.
My main, like, I really wanted Kara Kilgrave to be in this. I think she would have worked really well in this movie, in this role. I already have like an idea of what they could have done with her character, because she's been both a hero and a villain at times, Well, I blame the Master of the World for the villain part, but besides the point, I think having Doc Samson and Walter Lankowski would have been great choices as well. And I think Yelena would have worked really well in this. The one that I can see the least is the two that I can see the least is probably Echo and Bernie Rosenthal, because I don't really know much about Bernie Rosenthal other than what my friend has told me, but that's my list. I hope you guys like it. If you don't know who I'm talking about at the beginning of that list, who is that Nazi bitch, ask me on Twitter. Follow me at Witch of Yotin on Twitter. I will gladly tell you who I'm talking about. Anyways, I think that's basically all I wanted to talk about.
Gotcha. Wow. Damn, I think this is the longest we've been on just one topic in a media night.
Listen, for America, it's worth it.
Yeah. There you go. But all right then. I guess with that, we should move on to the next. Who wants to do the next one?
What was it? This is a witch topic. I don't know.
Oh wait, it's a me topic.
Wait, did you want to skip this witch in light of all the other news?
No. I'll briefly talk about this one.
Okay.
Sorry, give me a quick second. I'm trying to do things.
Yeah, sorry.
So basically, Austin brought it to my knowledge that the last volume of the Twisted Wonderland Heartslobule manga is coming out. I only have the first 2 volumes. There are 4 going to be in total. So basically, if you don't know what Twisted Wonderland is, it's basically a Disney Japan game where you get a whole bunch of Disney villains and etc. characters, turn them into pretty anime boys, put them in a school. That's basically what it is. And when it comes to Heartslobule, it is based off of Alice in Wonderland and the Queen of Hearts. So basically, it's just a recapping or like a retelling of what happens in book 1, but just like a little bit different because everyone plays the game differently. So yeah, that's basically it. Can't wait to get the last 2 volumes because, like I said, I only have the first 2. The next one is going to be of Scarabia. Not Scarabia, my bad. That's for book 4. I mean, Savannah Claw, which is based off of Scar, and The Lion King. So stay tuned for that, I guess. In Japan, they currently are at book 3, so they already get Octinaville. So we got to be patient. Viz Media is giving us this manga, so yeah. That's basically it. If I would have had a bigger topic, I would have probably talked about it. But, I got things to do. So, unfortunately, I could not go into full-on detail.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for the report on that, man.
No worries, I got you.
All right, then. With that, we'll move on to the next topic, audience. Jake, do you want to do this one?
What is it? Oh, I guess Austin's not here. Terminator Zero trailer. Did you watch this trailer?
I watched that trailer. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks promising. I like the graphics they did there. No Arnold Schwarzenegger here, audience.
Yes, thank God. I'm so sick of that Terminator. This man was good in one movie, and they said, let's make him the face of the franchise. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks good. I don't really have anything to say. It looks interesting. But
It
I
just
watch
needs to, it just needs to clear the palette from what happened in the last movie. Ani is the one that killed John Connor.
Yeah. If you're a Terminator fan, you'll probably like this. As far as me, like I only like 3 of those movies. I
It
haven't seen
only had
Terminator. I
it
haven't
only
seen.
had 2 really iconic movies, which were the first 2, and then everyone else just something they managed to screw it up.
I like Salvation. I thought Salvation was an okay film.
That's the one with Christian Bale, right?
Yeah.
It was a different flavor. Okay, I'll admit that.
Yeah.
Well,
I like
Oh,
compared to
whoa. Okay, I didn't know you could do that.
yeah, we're trying something different. Which
Where was it for my Twisted Wonderland topic, huh?
unfortunately, we took that out. We previously mentioned that we were going to take that out, but I guess Jake put in an old list here.
I did that.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah,
not talk about Young Avengers stuff today. Okay.
okay. We're not talking. Yeah, we're not talking about that one.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
go ahead, Jake.
I think, like I said, I like Salvation. I thought it was like seeing the war play out and kind of like you're seeing the rise of John Connor because you keep hearing the legends of him, but you never see John Connor in action. So I like seeing all the lessons that his mom taught him actually be imposed onto his character, and him and he's learning to be the leader. Well, he's like rising to be the leader and all that. I like that. I like the other part too. And the final battle, I remember as a kid, that was the first time I was like, I don't know if the good guys are going to win this one. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
That Terminator would not die. I think Salvation slept up. I don't think it's like the greatest movie of all time, but it's good. It's not as good as 2. It's good.
Well, compared to the movies that happened after that, they were train wrecks. Like the one with Jai Courtney, the one that was supposed to be about Sarah Connor. Or a whole reboot of the franchise from the first film. Yeah, ended horribly.
I saw one of the Terminator movies at the Chinese theater, and I was so bored.
Yep, exactly. And then you had the last one, which was the one where they killed John Connor as a kid, because apparently they said, screw it. At the end of Terminator 2, when John's still a kid, when they're hiding out in a beach, we're just going to send another Terminator to come in and just shoot the kid.
You know what? You know what's crazy? I had no problem with that.
What? People had a problem. That was. Go ahead.
People don't remember, or I think they don't really like take into account. I'm sure they remember because Terminator 2 is an iconic film. Terminator 2's whole point is that destiny is not determined, and just because in one timeline they got a good ending doesn't mean it can't go the other way. John Connor was not destined to be a hero. It was like the most likely outcome. But it just not happen, and that's okay.
But Jake, what made this even more depressing was the fact that after John gets killed, after they said, okay, yeah, Skynet is officially over. We're not getting Skynet. It's dead. We're not going to have that version of Judgment Day. What happens? Another AI comes up and causes Judgment Day. And when people bring up, oh my God, is this Skynet? The people from the future are like, what's Skynet? No, this isn't Skynet. Like, this is something else. This is another AI robot Terminator technology. And also, the savior is going to be this Hispanic lady. I'm like,
yeah. So yeah, that's where I started having the problem where I was like, okay, well, which Austin and I talked about this, but it's just like you replace Judgment Day with Judgment Day. It's like, this who's gonna get a waste. But the idea of John Connor dying before Judgment Day can happen, that was always embedded in Terminator. It's just that you got a good ending in Terminator 2. But the idea that he could just die, that was always the point of the film. And honestly, I think Terminator 3 kind of ruined the message of 2. Because 3 was like, it's inevitable, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I felt like.
I know some people didn't like John's depiction in Terminator 3 too. You know, where he was a homeless junkie, basically. You're like, what the hell? You know?
I don't mind that being an outcome of Con Air. I don't like because his problem in 3 was like, what do I do? I was raised to be the chosen one, and now I'm not. Like, what do I do with my life? But the idea that like that, even though they stopped Skynet, Judgment Day still happens. That ruined the ending of 2 to me. Because I just told that tells you that Judgment Day was going to happen regardless. So
exactly. That's what makes it depressing, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, like, it's. I think 2 left.
So yeah, as far as the Terminator Zero goes, you know, hey, it can only be a palate cleanser, and plus, I'm liking the graphics they're doing on this. You know, anime-ish style. You know, it looks a little more gory than I would see from the Terminator movie. Maybe it's because like they do stretch out more blood. You know, with these Terminators.
Now, when I sit down and watch this movie, I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't know if I'll care about enough to go on Netflix to watch it, but if we talk.
Maybe like for a movie night, someone can be like, "Oh, let's watch that Terminator movie." Blah 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 blah.
Is it a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
Oh, then yeah, which is right. We could
do it for a movie night.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Why y'all calling me delusional? You know I'm right.
But alright then.
Yeah.
But alright then, I guess with that we can move on to the next. If you all have nothing else to say.
Yeah.
No, I don't really care about the Terminator franchise that much. So.
Gotcha. But there's something that certain co-host of ours does care about. Go ahead, Jake.
Another W for xenophobia. My adventures. Season
you want to give Amanda Waller those W's, don't you, Jake?
Okay, so everyone was guzzling over this episode, and I'm not gonna lie to you, they're not wrong. I just don't usually like these types of episodes, so I'm not really gonna be as hyped as everybody else is. That doesn't mean it's a bad episode. I just don't like the whole, oh, the superhero's taking over, but we have to appeal to his humanity, and then he'll break free. And all that. It's just, I've seen it too many times. It's the same fumble every time. It doesn't mean, like I said, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean the story did naturally get here or whatever. It's fine. It needed to happen. I get it. It's just not my thing. But yeah, but that doesn't mean there was some interesting things here. So the general plot is Brainiac's on his way to Earth. And Lois needs to free Superman from his control. In the last episode, she put herself in the Black Mercy so she could connect to Clark's mind and free him from Brainiac's brainwashing, essentially. And meanwhile, Jimmy and Kara race to Earth to try to warn them that Brainiac's Superman is coming, but Amanda Waller is already on the prowl and has arrested them immediately. So
Amanda Waller's like, I think the fuck not.
Yeah, so I think so kind of like a plot line that I found interesting. I guess for lore reasons they introduced it, but Lois loses her memory immediately entering the Black Mercy, so she doesn't remember she's Lois Lane. So when she sees Clark, she doesn't even know who Clark is. She's like, "Oh, who are you?" Clark doesn't know who she is, and so this episode is really about trying to get them to remember their relationship and why they care about each other. Renew your vows, if you will. And the process she goes through to make it work felt, actually, this is the most Lois Lane I felt out of the entire show she's ever been, where she's trying to find clever ways, because while trying to get to Clark's Kryptonian parents, who that's the disguise that Brainiac is taking, or the code is taking, are trying to keep her away from Clark. So Lois has to outpace and outthink Kryptonians to try to get to Clark, to remind Clark who he is. But every time she gets close enough, the Kryptonians reset the program. So they reset the day. So Clark doesn't remember anything she said, essentially. So the game has to be, Lois has to get to Clark, tell him who he is, get him to believe her all before the day resets, and just do it all over again, essentially. And I thought this was a really fun game that the show laid out. Lex finally got to try out his new Kryptonian killing toys on Supergirl and Brainiac. But not that it mattered, because Brainiac's like, actually I have anti-Kryptonian kryptonite shielding, so fuck off. And so an army of kryptonite wielding robots were destroyed by Brainiac because he wore a kryptonite suit. So a kryptonite protection suit. But yeah, Brainiac continues to be an interesting villain. I really like his the way he carries himself. I like his lines. I can't quote them verbatim, but I just remember liking some of the things he said in the episode as well. And inevitably, Superman does break free with the power of love. And there's a brief moment when Lois gets Kryptonian powers in the episode, and that's because Clark says, well, in my mind, Lois, you are the strongest person I know. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
You get romance points for that, Clark. Yeah. We see what you did there. Like,
yeah, so they break free together, and in my head, I'm like, "Damn it, their relationship is stronger than ever. I'm never gonna get Clark and Lana in this universe." So,
wait until season 3, man. Come on, they have to continue drama.
Yeah, they gotta break up again over this bullshit, whatever. But I just wanted them to break up this season so I could get Lana and not have to do this again. But whatever, it is what it is. So Clark is back in just in time to save Supergirl, and just in time to get a fancy new suit, everybody, which you can see on the screen now.
Yay!
Suit.
It looks pretty good. I mean, I'm digging like the shoulder blades in this. It looks more like a battle armor on the shoulders.
Yeah, but they took away the underwear.
No, not these.
I'm okay with this because this isn't going to be his standard costume, is it?
I don't know.
I'm okay with like upgrades, every now and then when it comes to costumes, but the standard one will always go back to being him in his underwear,
I don't mind if, like I said, I always tell people I don't care about the underwear. I care that there's red there because the red breaks up the blue. And I look at this suit and I like a lot of it. It's too much blue.
I agree. I like the balance of the red, white, and blue.
Exactly.
Yellow and blue.
You said red. You said red, white, and blue. You just said red, white, and blue, which looks like I really am getting to you.
No, because how many flags of the world have red, white, and blue?
Yeah.
Like I'm literally working on my cosplay right now. Okay, like I'm allowed to have a slip up of words.
Yeah.
But you were talking about the. You like the balance of the...
I do like some good balance. It's basically good for a character design point as someone who does have original characters. Like I have a character whose primary colors are black, purple, white, and silver. However, the silver and the white are accent points, while the black and the purple are the majority. And it shows who they are as a character and shows like what his powers are and all that other stuff, like and like I have a character who is primarily pastels, so two actually, besides the point.
Yeah, I think for Superman, I think like he just needs something down there, like especially with this, because there's 2 shades of blue on the suit, and I really think the red is needed to break it up for the midsection. Because it's just like
I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's this long stretch of the costume where it's just blue everywhere, and there's just red at the top and the bottom. I think it looks better.
Like if this was like the Wonder Twins, this would have been fine for the amount of purple that they wear because purple's their primary color. But it doesn't really work for Superman because it just looks like he's just wearing mostly blue with red as an accent when it's supposed to be red and blue as the main colors and yellow as the accent. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. But it is what it is.
Just wait. Lois Lane's gonna be the one who wants him in his red underwear again. There you go. There you go.
They should bring in his gladiator outfit.
But
recreate that one scene.
I think the suit is fine. I do like how it's more warrior-esque because it is it's a modification of the outfit Brainiac had him in. So this is more like warrior Kryptonian suit. But like I said, I think it just needs a breakup of the red. Other than that, I do like the shoulder things. I like the cape and everything. Like he does look he looks stronger.
Design wise, love it. But I just wish that they had the red undies.
Yes, exactly. But so the episode basically ends where you think Kara and Clark are gonna team up and stop Brainiac? Nope, actually, because Brainiac's like, I'm an advanced AI from Krypton, so all this like Earth tech you made, Lex, that's mine now. I can hack that. So all that work Lex made at making Kryptonian killing weapons, well, that's Brainiac's now, and he's going to use it to kill Clark and Kara as the episode ends, and the world. So maybe xenophobia. I guess maybe it did win. Maybe it gave the aliens the edge they needed to take over the world.
Wow, that had to benefit somebody.
Yeah, I like how Lex is just like befuddled. He's like, I did not think this through at all. Like I was.
No, you didn't, dumbass.
Yeah. I do think Amanda Waller was like incredibly irrational this episode. So like Jimmy, when she arrested Jimmy, she's like, she was like, listen, I'm trying to tell you, there's an alien invasion on the way. And she's like, and we'll be ready when he shows up. Now she's referring to Superman. She's technically correct. But my question is, if Jimmy, who you know is friends with Superman, is telling you an alien invasion is on the way, you know he's not talking about Superman. Why don't you just ask him what he's talking about so you're better prepared? You know what I mean? It's stuff like that kind of makes Amanda seem nonsensical to me. But I get it. She's just the bad guy we got to be mad at because she's racist and all that. But it is.
She's racist towards aliens, just how like Wonder Woman was racist towards aliens in the Harley Quinn show. You know?
Another good thing I liked about this episode was we got to see Supergirl fight Brainiac too. So I think this is going to lead to the city seeing Supergirl be a hero for the first time. Which is good because she at this point she's not fighting for the Earth. She's fighting because she feels guilty about all the planets she's destroyed. So she's like, but this is not going to be another one of those. I'm not going to let you do this again. So this is her first standout as a hero, was standing up against Brainiac. I'm sure Superman will get some blowback from this. Except for the fact that I think he's going to save the day at the end. So I don't know how people are going to be mad at him, but we'll see. But I think this is a lot. If I have to compare this to another Superman show that did this better, I think. Do you guys remember Superman the animated series when Darkseid took over Superman's mind and made him?
Oh yeah.
Bold of you to assume I indulge in enough DC content to engage in that conversation.
I love that show.
I think that was a two-parter, and I think Superman causes a lot of destruction before he snaps out of it, if I remember correctly.
Oh, geez. It was even worse than that because, like, remember, Superman was brainwashed to believe that he's Darkseid's son, and that, like, Darkseid's like, you have served me well, my son. Now I shall allow you to conquer a planet all on your own. This one right here, this planet called Earth. And look, I even took the liberty of designing your own flag, which was in the S symbol.
You know, can I bring up something that's kind of random, but it kind of just goes off of this? I just think it's funny when we have like a series or like whatever where there's like obviously aliens and they call Earth something else. I like when they do that because it's like if like aliens coming to our planet for the first time, they probably don't know that we call it Earth.
Yeah.
So
it's like Christopher Columbus coming to America and calling it India or whatever it is.
Yeah, but we don't know, but it's like you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I think what I liked about that was it was a lot of destruction. Like you really felt it was heartbreaking because Superman cares about the Earth, but he's destroying so much of it. And I think
but that one caveat to that whole episode was by the end, everybody's going to have their different opinions. Some people believe like Superman should just get out because like, screw that guy. But then you have someone like Jimmy Olsen like saying Superman has put his life on the line, saving us a bunch of dimes. He deserves a second chance.
Yeah. And I think with this episode, it's not as impactful. Like I think the destruction Brainiac causes before Superman gets his mind back was like a city block. I was like, and it's not really
what Superman can do is not nearly as bad.
Yeah, it was like he kind of gets his mind back, and you already see like I don't know how people would see this. It would just kind of just be like, oh, I guess Superman was mind controlled. You know what I mean? he didn't have much interaction with the people. There weren't a lot of people begging Superman to like change his ways. I mean, they clearly saw him do it.
Okay, question, Jake. When he was destroying, like, invading the world, right?
Yeah.
Was he wearing his standard Superman costume, or was he
No.
basically wearing a Hot Topic costume?
Yeah, he was wearing the Hot Topic Brainiac modification. Like he didn't have the S on his chest. He had like
that should have been his alibi. Come on, like, you think Superman standard wise will be wearing this, and all of a sudden he's invading the world?
Also, another thing that kind of bothers me about like modern media or whatever, I hate it when they do the evil Superman character.
A lot of people
that
are,
because it's overdone, overplayed. Give me Himbo Superman back. Give me the one Superman that I can look up in the sky and be like, oh, thank the gods,
Yep.
Like I like the Superman that cares about the people that he's not ruling, but looking after.
Yeah, that's one thing our friend Philly Superman mentioned before. Like, hey, he's starting to agree. The more evil Superman there are in media, the more it's actually harming the Superman, the
Legacy.
IP itself.
Yeah.
I sent you guys the picture in the Discord of like when he comes to Earth.
Okay, let me check on my iPad quick.
I saw.
I'm almost done with the main part of the blazer. Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that's what he's wearing.
He looks so different from Superman. Like if I was an average person,
I wouldn't even know that was Superman. What the?
I wouldn't even know that was Superman. Like you would see that, I'd be like, "Oh, who's that guy? Like, what is he showing up for?" Brainiac doesn't even call himself Superman. I don't think he ever once said his name was Superman. So it's like, who's like?
Look, he's not even wearing the S logo. Come on.
Yeah. So
like there are other versions of like and quote unquote evil Superman or whatever. But guess what? They most of the time wear a similar suit to his original. Like the one where he was taken in by the Soviets instead of like, the farm that we all know and love.
Yeah.
Like at least he's wearing a suit that's like similar enough to the original,
I don't know how the world's gonna take this in the finale. But like it feels like, despite the fact that there's been 2 seasons of build-ups establishing how much Clark cares about his image and how people see him, the moment he gets to be evil Superman, and by the way, he's been all of last season building up a reputation. The city loves him. So like the fact that like when we get to this point where he's evil and he barely does anything, it's kind of like, I feel it's kind of like a waste. I feel like it would have been more heartbreaking if he did like level a bit of Metropolis before he came back to his senses. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even that big of a deal. But that's kind of my only real complaint with it. Like I said, I'm sick of evil Superman. But if you were but if you were gonna do it in this show, I thought they were gonna take advantage of the premise that they set it up in. But like I said, it's a good episode. It's just not gonna be an episode that I enjoy because I don't like these type of plots anyway. So unless we go like all the way with it, but it is what it is. I still recommend season 2 of this show. Maybe not to the most hardcore Superman fan, but like if you like this type of stuff, this is for you. So
go for it.
I don't look at this guy anymore. I'm changing it back to Google. There we go.
Okay, hold on a sec before we get on to the next topic. Let me just say something more about the show, Jake.
There was a moment where Lois says, "I didn't name you Superman because you have powers. I named you Superman because that's the type of person you are."
Aww. Okay.
Wait, who says that?
That was Lois.
Lois.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But all right then, that's a good way to end this topic. Well, audience, we're done the media news. Now we're going on to the comic news. So let's start us off with. Hold on a sec. Iron Man gets a series by Spencer Ackerman.
Do you like this guy?
Okay, I didn't know who this guy was. I had to look up a little bit on him. Basically, it's going to be like another Ta-Nehisi Coates situation. He's a journalist. He's not a comic book writer.
Oh, we have no idea.
Yeah, we don't really have any idea as to what sort of style he'll bring in, but
what would be interesting? You know what I think would be interesting?
What?
if he played, you said this guy was a journalist normally, right? That's what he's
Yes.
for. So I think what would be interesting is if they had a journalist like in the universe like write about Iron Man's like adventures or something, and we have it from his
Yeah.
perspective instead of Tony's perspective or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not
that could work as a mini series, but for a ongoing series that feels
Is
so
it
much like
ongoing?
self-insert. Yeah, it is an ongoing.
Well, I just thought
So
that would be a cool idea.
gotcha.
Didn't
But
they do a premise similar to that with one of the Marvels? It was like Marvels or something like that. It was like
Marvels, yes, Marvels. That's what they did. It was a point of view from ordinary people on superheroes.
yeah.
Um,
So
but
that could be something. Like which one?
But wait, on top of on top of him being a journalist, he was also an author of a couple of books. One book could be really telling us of what he might think of Iron Man, right? I saw like one of the books he's written was how 9/11 destabilized America and produced Donald Trump. So I'm like, so what does he have in store for Iron Man? Another billionaire.
We'll see. We'll see what
Um,
I guess.
yeah, I'm just not like thinking that this is going to be a flattering series just based on what he's previously wrote before. You know, hey, we already saw what's his name Cantwell did to Iron Man in his run.
Here's the thing.
Uh,
Here's the thing.
yeah,
Cantwell is also the same bitch who wrote a Namor miniseries and keeps bringing up Sue Storm. Leave her
yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Let her be dead. But I do
Something.
love Briar though, and I will be talking about that next
Gotcha,
Monday because I leave on that
gotcha.
Tuesday.
Something that should be noted is that I was a freelance journalist for a while, and I want to get into the comic industry someday. But I don't think a lot of what I would write about in the news would be in my comics. That's just me, but I say that because maybe Spencer isn't that type of person either. Maybe it's like just because I write about this stuff all day doesn't mean I want to put it in a comic.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It's
Just
just a thought.
just one request, Marvel. Do not put him on Captain America. No. Nick Spencer fell through that rabbit hole and went as political as holy hell when he wrote Captain America, and we saw what happened there. Yeah. But I'm trying to also think who else could have been on Iron Man, right? Since Jerry Duggan's done. I don't think anybody currently working at Marvel can make me say that person would do a stellar Iron Man run, or that person completely understands Iron Man, or this and that.
I mean, Iron Man's a pretty straightforward character, so I don't see why
Yeah,
you would need to.
yeah, I know, right? It's like so simple, but at the same time, it's complicated. Nobody comes to mind. Like when you tell me who should be the next Captain America writer, right? I know from experience reading other writers in their work of Cap that make me say, I have like a list of people that I could say, that person understands Captain America. That person should be writing his main book. But with Iron Man, I don't notice that. Unless you guys have seen any great moments of Iron Man in other books.
No, I actually read Iron Man books.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So
I think the last time I read like a book that was strictly Iron Man was the issue where we get introduced to Ghost. That was because that was like years ago when I found it at a random comic book shop in California. So
gotcha.
woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. My Blazer's turning out great so far, audience. Just letting you know that now. It's turning out pretty good.
Oh, that's
Now
cool
I
to
need
hear,
to work
Rich.
on the top part, which I can like just whatever, just like spread it out, make it look nice.
Gotcha. But anyway, with that, any final thoughts before we move on?
No, but I do kind of low key want to get into this next topic though.
Cool. Do you or Jake want to announce the next one?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Cartoon Network shutting down. So
Wait,
not actually shutting down.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was making sure. I was okay. I wanted to
No
correct
worries,
this.
no worries.
I said I could do it, Jacob. Are you underestimating me?
I wasn't sure because everyone on the internet was saying this, and I just found out a second ago that was not true. So
No. So Cartoon Network itself is not shutting down. However, the account Animation Workers United, which is like, it's kind of like the writer and actors union, but for animation. So, they're using the hashtag RIP Cartoon Network to draw attention to the difficulties that the animation community has been facing.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, because like if you know anything about some of these companies, some of the people running these like big networks or whatever, they don't really give a shit about animation, and you could tell. Like I remember HBO got rid of like a lot of their cartoons for no reason. And it pissed a lot of people off. You know, there are people who are upset over the work conditions, the fact that they're not getting paid the amount that they deserve to get paid, you know, and a whole bunch of other reasons. But no, you guys, Cartoon Network itself is not shutting down. It's just to draw attention to the problems that is happening in the animation community.
Yeah.
I do actually follow the account in question, Animation Works United. So yeah, support your animation. Support the freaking animators who spend hours upon hours upon hours making the stuff that you love.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
and also
funny.
fuck the billionaires that are ruining it for everyone else. Because during COVID, guess who was the backbone of the entertainment industry? It was the animators.
I said this from the beginning. People don't give a fuck about animators. I said this. I don't mean corporations. I mean like just everyday people. I think people like to talk about it online, and I'm sure this channel does. If they were going to this extreme, I'm sure they care about animators.
Oh, trust me, I've rambled about Mappa.
I think the average consumer doesn't give a fuck.
Because
I always kind of like look them. I'm not saying you, Witch. I'm saying the average person doesn't give a fuck.
Keep in mind, a lot of people still think that animation's just for kids.
Yeah. I just think that a lot of people like to grandstand. And I think like if you have to go this far to get people's attention, and by the way, which I don't think, unless I'm wrong, which correct me, it seems like you're more informed this than me. I don't think this really garnered a lot of like rallying support at the end of the day.
There's people who are most likely going to be rallying in the streets, like SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, and the writers as well. I forgot what their organization's called. Apologies. You can remind me in the comments. But there is probably, depending on how bad it gets, the animators might start going on these, like, you know, they're going to be doing their things because they deserve just as much as like regular old screen actors and the writers, because they deserve just as much. You know, they deserve a lot, because without animators, like most of these things wouldn't, like most of these shows, like a lot of the animation stuff, we wouldn't have. You know, like Cartoon Network, like I'm using it as an example because that's what the topic is calling for. Basically, like that was a large part of people's childhood and teenage years and adulthood, you know.
Like me.
Like me as well. What the hell are you talking about, bitch?
Hey, I still watch cable, which.
Okay.
I still watch Cartoon Network on TV.
Yeah. You know, like a big example is Disney itself. Like Disney's known for their animation. So like, you know, I would just think that these companies would care a little bit more about their animators, you know, the people that bring these things to life. And like I saw a thing on Tumblr and Twitter from one of the artists who was working on Castlevania on Netflix. Everyone knows about my beef with Netflixvania. However, I do acknowledge that the animation is beautiful, you know, and all this other stuff. But like, still, like, you know, like, give two shits about your fucking actors, like your fucking animators, your voice actors, etc., etc. So we don't have to go with these extremes.
Yeah, I will say though, and which side is very much true that about the animators and what they go through and everything. I will say the approach to this was, I mean, we'll see the results, but I don't think it was a good idea. I would never brazenly lie about something like this because you're getting supporters in on the idea that something is happening.
Well, here's
Yeah.
going on. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you. However, I want to add on to it. Like I said, like HBO, and like other places, keep in mind they're actively getting rid of their shows off of their streaming services, which can lead to these shows becoming lost media, and we don't want that. Like we've already seen like tons of things become lost media because people don't care about preserving things.
Remember 2D animation when it came to Disney?
Exactly.
I think,
I think they have to do drastic measures to get people to like pay attention.
My overall point, I guess, is that if you go all in, because I can read this, Witch has already seen the video, but Cryptid, you have it, and I'm looking at the article now. And I saw this video. This is the actual statement, basically, and it's kind of a long one. This video showed a conversation between two animated characters discussing the possible threats to the animation industry. And it's quoted as, "Wow, so this is where cartoons get made. Not anymore. Cartoon Network is essentially dead, and other big animation studios are not far behind. What the hell? What happened to all the animation workers? A lot of them are unemployed, in record numbers, in fact. And many have been unemployed for years, but they carried the industry during the pandemic. That's right, when COVID first hit, animation was able to operate completely remotely, making it one of the only forms of entertainment that could continue production uninterrupted. But studios decided to pay them back by canceling projects, outsourcing jobs, and laying off artists in mass. But why would they do that?"
Also the threat of AI is becoming.
Oh yeah, that too.
I've seen some of these AI generated freaking movies and such, and they're awful, man.
But why would they do that? Why else? Greed. Big studios make their finances look better by reducing spending and cutting staff, CEOs, and executives reaping the monetary benefits for themselves. So they want to reap, huh? I'll show them reap. I don't think you'll be doing much with the plastic site. Okay, so some of this stuff is based off of actions in the video. But the ending of this is says, I don't think you'll be doing much with the plastic site, but you can help by spreading the word. Post your favorite Cartoon Network shows you wish were still around using hashtag RIP Cartoon Network and hashtag stay tuned for ways to help tag the Animation Guild. By following this account, animation is under attack. Which side are you on? And I guess I guess my only problem with this is like it's based on a lie. Like you're rallying people based on a lie that has truths in it, which are very valuable. Like the animation industry is undervalued.
It's like when YouTubers do clickbait thumbnails to get people to watch their videos. It's kind of like that.
It is like that.
Plus, like, keep in mind, going off of that, Cartoon Network, out of all, like the three main like channels, I guess you would see, like, say if you're on cable, that you would think of when it comes to animated things, which would be Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. The channel that's getting the most affected by this is Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it's like that, except you're causing a mass panic and rallying people behind something that's not real. Not the animation problem, but you're rallying about people behind the idea that they're losing Cartoon Network. Which, again, let's be fair. I don't think a lot of people watch Cartoon Network anyway. I think a lot of people assume, whether it's right or not, that Teen Titans Go is all that's on there. Granted, I know you watch cable, but like not a lot of people. I don't even think the kids that I take
like a crap ton of shows on freaking HBO Max.
They started bringing Adult Swim earlier on weekdays now, and Toonami.
Don't watch Cartoon Network.
Kids don't watch cable, but adults do.
Adults watch Adult Swim.
I think this would also affect Adult Swim as well.
Right. But I guess my point is like my overall point is like doing this behind a lie. I don't think is like a good idea. You can rally people. The truth is still like important. So you can rally people behind
because
that.
Like keep in mind, if they were like, oh, the Animation Guild is under attack, people are not going to care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but people, like I said, I think people
that would care. That would make people care.
Right. I get the idea. I get the intent. And I think the intent is noble, and I think it's a place of. I don't think anything's ill-intentioned here. I just don't agree with the method because I still don't think that this would get people to care either, especially when Cartoon Network's going to come out immediately and say, "Hey, that's not true," and they're just going to be like, "Oh, that is kind of wasting my time," and I'm just going to go back to what I'm doing. So
people at Cartoon Network would probably agree, being like, "Yeah, no, we're getting fucked over, but like we're not shutting down anytime soon."
Well, well, in the article they just said like later
keep
they said,
in mind, Jake, you have to acknowledge it on the animation. Then you can't just do it from your end as well. Just us talking about it alone is spreading the word. So yeah, people, if you like your animation, spread the word.
No, I'm not disagreeing
with greedy ass millionaires and billionaires take away the things that we love because of their fucking corporate greed.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying like I just don't agree with the way they went about it. I guess it does.
I would have done the same. Most people would have done the same thing. So
I guess it does create discussion. I guess that's fair.
Exactly.
But I don't think it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna go beyond it. People don't care enough about the root issue to stay involved. I don't think lying about Cartoon Network, especially when Cartoon Network, is going to come out and say, "Hey, this isn't true." They said, in fact, Cartoon Network would like to clarify that there is no truth to the speculation that the network or studio are shutting down, with a number of recently announced green lights remain committed to continually investing in innovative content that entertains and inspires our viewers across the globe. And they said nothing about the actual organization either. Like I said, if people don't care enough to get out of their way to do something without the lie, I don't think the lie is going to do much if it's easily proven wrong. I think if Cartoon Network actually was shutting down, maybe. But the fact that it won't.
Cartoon Network's not going to shut down anytime soon because there would actually be riots. However, like I said earlier, out of the 3 main cartoon channels, Cartoon Network is getting hit by the most from these corporate assholes. Because like we all know about Disney, we all know about Nickelodeon's bullshit. We all saw Quiet on Set, we all know. But that's what their live action shows. We're not talking. Like they've also fucked over their animated shows too. I would like to give 2 examples of this. Invader Zim and The Legend of Korra. Those are my 2 examples for that.
I'll give you a third. I was gonna add on. I was gonna give you a third. I was gonna give you a third show. Mao got fucked over.
Which one?
Mao. I was very sorry.
Oh, Mao, that was so cute.
I loved Mao. That was great.
But like a lot of Cartoon Network shows got fucked over. Like I don't remember if it got canceled or not, but Craig of the Creek got fucked over. Infinity Train got fucked over. Basically, like a lot of their long-standing series as well got fucked over. Like luckily, shows like Adventure Time and Regular Show got to actually like finish what they wanted, you know. And Adventure Time is still going pretty strong with all their side properties. But those are like the really long-standing shows. Some of their shorter shows, they're not doing it as hot as like partially because of these people who want all the fucking money and don't want to pay their animators.
But like I said, I think at the end of the day, it's just like the lying. I don't think really is gonna help the issue. I think the issue is just like people don't care enough. I think people like to talk, not you per se, but I think people like to talk about animators having a problem. But either they don't know how to help it, or they don't feel like they can, or they just don't feel like it matters. And so they just don't help at the end of the day.
Even though I know damn well so many people online were like, during the pandemic, like the main part of the pandemic, they were like, "Oh my god, I love this fucking show, this cartoon show, and I love this anime." But like at the same time, you got to acknowledge being like, "Oh yeah, these motherfuckers are being treated like dog shit." Like I know this isn't like an animated work, but it was mostly CGI, so I'm gonna count it for this case. Like the Cats movie from 2019. Oh my god. Oh my god. Besides that movie looking and being actually atrocious, they basically worked those CGI artists to the bone. They treated them like dog shit just for what? Not even a mediocre movie?
Yeah, but like I said, if you're an audience member and you care about animation, you can find ways to help. But like I said,
just spread the word. Spread the word.
Yeah. But
do the same thing that they did for the Writers and Actors Guild. Do it for animation, because without animation, we would not have gotten as far as a society as we did.
Well, if you want to support animation, find a way to do it. Look, listen, prove me wrong. If you care, do something.
Prove Jake wrong. Thumbs up if to prove Jake wrong.
Yeah, hashtag prove Jake wrong. Let's set that.
Hashtag Cartoon Network. Hashtag prove Jake wrong.
There you go.
Or you could give a thumbs up to prove Jake's wrong, audience. All right. All right, guys. I guess with that, we probably should move on to the next one. So, all right, I got this one. Joe Garrison will face off against Elektra in the Daredevil series.
Huh?
That should be all the reaction you need, audience. Joe Garrison. You remember the failed Punisher?
Oh, I didn't even know he was Punisher.
You know, the one that is, they made him a SHIELD agent because they didn't want Punisher to be in the military. The one that uses high-tech weaponry that's not realistic because they don't want him to use actual guns. Yeah, the one who apparently finds fates worser than deaths for his victims, just so he doesn't do the killing. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess this is her Punisher because Daredevil has that
Oh,
murder
God.
Punisher.
Okay. Look, I gotta be honest. I don't even know why Elektra's still wearing the costume at this point. Like,
I don't know the lore. I thought is Matt Daredevil as well? Are there two Daredevils? Is like Spider-Man?
I'm pretty sure Daredevil's pop. Well, I know he's still a father right now, in the church, taking care of some kids. I'm pretty sure he's worn the Daredevil costume a couple times at this point. But Elektra, like, is she ever gonna go back to her usual costumes?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I
Maybe
like
they'll
her.
be nice and give us a new costume. But you know what else would be nice, audience? If I can find my lighter. There it is.
I like Elektra the Daredevil. She looks good in it. I ain't gonna lie. She pulls it up.
She look good, but I'm just trying to find more reasons more reasons to justify why she's still wearing that.
If it looks good, keep wearing it.
I would like so listen, I don't read Daredevil, so who am I? Listen, if you're a Daredevil fan, you think I'm completely stupid for this, you're completely justified. You're completely 100% right. I think it would be cool if Daredevil and Daredevil team up like the Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2.
So your love interest is just gonna be the gender bend version of yourself.
Wow.
Listen,
they've done it before.
Sure. Listen, hey, I don't read Daredevil. If you think that would ruin the story,
it's like Batman finally hooking up with Catwoman after Catwoman becomes Batwoman.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
That would ruin your story. I can't.
Like that. Okay, that looks a little weird. I don't know if I want to be making out with myself. Come on.
We've all seen
don't knock it till you try. Don't knock it till you
try. Everybody hates Batman with Batgirl, which, come on.
I was talking about the Loki show. I wasn't not talking about Batman.
Oh, okay. Look. Okay, yeah. But no, the whole Batman and Batgirl thing is universally hated.
Sherlock, no one likes that besides the two people that do, and they're weird.
But yeah, like I don't read Daredevil. I don't know if I ever will. So like, listen, I'm just spitballing ideas. If you think they're dumb, they're dumb.
I just find this funny that this topic is supposed to be about Joe Garrison popping up in the comments.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're talking about Elektra's cot wardrobe.
Hey, that's because we have better things to be talking about.
Sure. Yes. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry, Joe. Like, you just came at a horrible time, dude. You were doomed to fail, man.
What? We just don't care.
Yeah. What's to be anticipated for this fight? Yeah.
Who is Joe Garrison? It's like
y'all want to see Elektra kick this Punisher wannabe in the ass? Let's go see it. Come on. Come on. It's a final mercy, Joe, to get killed by Elektra. All right. So
after this next, I'm gonna go use the restroom. So just letting you guys know.
Gotcha. Give it a couple seconds, guys. Anything else you want to say about Joe? Good old Joe.
I don't know.
Fucking ugly.
Where do you see?
It's
What
like
do you?
it'll be like if you told me Spider-Man was fighting the most obscure Captain America villain, I'd be like, huh? Okay, sure, why not?
Why would I care?
I don't care.
Where would you guys like to see Joe pop up next?
I don't know him.
Like,
So what else to say?
We've
Jake,
literally been saying,
Jake,
who the fuck is that for like the past.
Jake, he's a comics code authority approved Punisher, Jake. Think of
Okay.
that.
Okay, when they still had the Punisher.
What? I'm sure
We don't have Frank Castle anymore, which he's still in Weird World.
I'm sure
Okay,
whatever
well,
role
we still have a better version of the Punisher, aka Frank Castle. He's still around.
I'm sure whatever role John Walker could job in, he could take his place. Okay, there you go.
I will accept that because at least like John Walker is actually like relevant-ish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Relevant-ish. Not saying he's fully relevant. He's relevant-ish.
Gotcha. All right, but anyway, I guess with that we can move on. Who wants to do the next one?
I want to go.
Go ahead.
So we got the new look of 6160, aka Ultimate Hawkeye, and he looks fucking baller.
That's a fucking.
I'm digging it. Like,
we don't know what's his name or really who he is, but we know that he, I'm assuming, is Hawkeye. We can also tell that we can also tell that this character is indigenous, which is pretty fucking baller. You can never go wrong.
Yeah.
Also,
from the CBR article, I don't know why you chose a CBR article, but whatever, it's fine.
It's where I found the new where I first heard about this character.
It's all good. It's all good. It's fine. So basically, from this CBR article, it says Hawkeye no more, not for long. A new challenger approaches when an unknown civilian picks up a discarded bow and arrow and refuses to let the Ultimates reclaim the stolen Stark tech. Captain America tries to settle the dispute, leading to an action-packed brawl of arrows versus shields. Meanwhile, the Ultimate Hellfire Club's up to something, which I'm also kind of excited for. Who is going to be in this Hellfire Club?
Cool.
I'm curious. Also, yes, guys, in Ultimate X-Men, we are getting Psylocke, so just letting y'all know now.
The more I look at this, I'm like, damn, that is a Hawkeye suit. That is
so his design is so cool, man.
I'm really digging this.
I love the purple. I love the teal.
The braided hair, it matches.
And like
it feels natural.
The shaved sides work here because some characters, when they have like shaved sides, it does not look good. Storm, Hero, but it works here.
Kudos to the artist, really.
But here's the thing: just because they look cool on the cover doesn't mean they're gonna look cool in the book. So just
listen. What I like about this is like it looks different, but I can easily tell that's Hawkeye. Like I'm like that. Like, I just know that.
And
I know what's supposed to be.
Another thing I'd like to add, right? This kind of when I saw this design, right? It's obviously an indigenous person. The one thing I kept thinking back to was actually in 616, back when Occupy Avengers was a thing. Occupy Avengers was just like it's just small time, helping the average Joe out, And in that series, you had Hawkeye being the main lead, and he had like a really good friendship with Red Wolf. Audience, Red Wolf is an indigenous superhero, really cool character, this and that. They kind of had like a blood brothers pact, So so I'm looking at this, and you know what? I wouldn't mind if there was like a tie-in between that two. Maybe this is that version of Red Wolf, or
there always is that possibility. However, this could just be an original character.
Yeah, I'll think that
but
too.
Keep in mind, I would like to give an example, and I know I always bring things back to Alpha Flight, but this, I promise, it makes sense. Okay. I promise it makes sense. So in the first Ultimate X-Men, not the one that's currently going on, but I'll come back to that later. I'll circle back around to the new Ultimate X-Men. So in Ultimate X-Men Volume 1, in like the back half of the book, we get introduced to Ultimate Alpha Flight, right? So if you know anything about the characters, like their names, who they are. You know that Shaman is Michael Two Young Men, Snowbird is Narya, Sasquatch is Michael Walter Lankowski, etc., etc. But in 1610, they decided to change it up a little bit. So instead of Michael Two Young Men being Shaman, it's John Proudstar as Shaman, Danny Moonstar as Snowbird, Rain Sinclair of all characters being Sasquatch, and John Wraith, who is not like a major player in Wolverine lore, but he's there. He got whitewashed to all hell, but we're not going to get into that today. The only character that got transferred over from 616 to 1610 was Aurora, but we're not going to get into that today. But going back to 6160, as you know, there's a new team of Ultimate X-Men. We know that. So we got introduced to two characters. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. I think her name was Mori, like Mori, but we got introduced to two characters who are part of Nico's little squad, because Nico Minoru is in this universe. We don't know if she's a mutant or not, but she's chilling. So we got one of the characters is based off of Molly Hayes, and we haven't seen her powers yet in the book. However, she does wear a bunny hat, so we're counting it. The other character is named Natsu, and basically she's an original character as well, but the thing about her is that she wears a blue tracksuit with like little yellow stripes, right? You see where I'm going with this? Yeah. And she wears an eye patch on one of her eyes. And basically when she moves it over, she can create an optic blast. So this character is based off of Scott Summers. And guess what? Her name, Natsu, means like summers or like summer in Japanese. So I just thought that was a nice little tie-in. So I think they might do something along that line. Either bring in a character from the main 616 universe and make that random character into Hawkeye, or they create a whole new character based off of, like, say, Clint Barton or something, you know? Or, like, a different character altogether. Do you see what I'm going at?
Yeah.
Wait, if I talk about Howard the Duck, how are you going to tie that in with Alpha Flight? I gotta ask. Like,
we'll see. We'll see, because I want to like Howard the Duck. I can tie a lot of things back into it. When I brought up my from earlier, there were several Alpha Flight members in that fucking list.
Which could read the Bible. And it would tie okay? That's
I probably could.
Okay.
I can tie a lot back to this Canadian superhero team. But anyway, do you see the point I'm trying to bring up?
Yeah, I can see your point, but yeah, it will be cool. Regardless, like I feel like it's gonna be a fan favorite. You're definitely gonna see some cosplays of this in the future. You know, it's a cool design.
I can see this character pulling up to I can't remember the name of the con, but there's a con in I think Oklahoma or something, and basically it's an indigenous Comic-Con.
Oh, that's cool. Another thing I kind of wanted to bring up in what you just said, like when it came to that article, it looks like there's going to be a conflict between him and Captain America.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, guys. I want to say my thoughts on Ultimates for tomorrow, but this is what going to be issue 5.
For Ultimates.
For Ultimates, yeah. He's going to be popping up in Ultimates number 5.
He will be Hawkeye. It's issue 5. So we got a couple months.
Yeah. I might not wait until issue 5. I might not even make it to issue 5 with his Ultimates run.
Fair enough. Not for everyone, but I read the first issue and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's the second issue that I had a lot of problems with, specifically with Captain America. But I'll get more to it on tomorrow. So when I heard like, okay, this Hawkeye is going to have a collision with this new version of Ultimate Captain America, I'm not looking at that as favorable to Captain America. But I'll shed more light on that tomorrow, guys. So yeah.
Fair enough. In conclusion.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll definitely buy issue 5 if I can find this variant cover. Definitely, you know.
Cover, but like one of the main covers. But anyway, I enjoyed it. Let's move on so I can go use the restroom real quick.
Okay. Wait, hold on a sec. Give me a sec, guys. Austin, Jake, tell me some more stuff that you like about this costume.
Well, I like about this costume. I like the purple, like the mask. I like the way it like fits around his body. I also like the white on his gloves, except for the last finger on each glove that has like the purple. Mm-hmm.
You see the wind surrounding him, man. So that's cool.
The use of space on this part is really good. His pants too. I need to see how they look when they're just standing still, but in motion it looks cool.
Yeah,
But, you know, I think his the hair and the pants I have to see in motion, but I think it looks cool. So
gotcha. Alrighty then. With that, let's get on to our last topic of the night.
Cryptid, I want you to introduce the topic, but I have some questions I need to ask you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So introduce the topic.
Yeah. You want me to introduce it now?
Yeah. Introduce it. Yeah.
Okay. Dan Slott announces he's "quote unquote" finished with Dr. Octopus.
Now before we dive into this, I got some questions to ask you. Okay. How do you feel about Dan Slott as a writer?
He's an entertaining he's an entertaining writer. I'll say that, for better or for worse. Where it's good when he's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's horrible. But
what about his
ideas?
What about his She-Hulk? You read that?
I didn't read his She-Hulk run. I did read. Funny enough, he did write John Walker. Man,
you like his John Walker stuff?
Yes, this was after. I think this was like during Thunderbolts, where Dan Slott was writing him. Keep in mind, this was like right after John Walker got his arm and his leg cut off, right?
Yeah.
And John Walker ended up becoming a warden at a prison facility for superpowered villains, right? And I like the way Dan Slott actually did something creative with John, where this is Marvel, right? When you lose a limb, you could slap yourself a Winter Soldier arm or one of those, right?
Yeah.
John opted to use like the prosthetics you would give our soldiers, like those the ones with the forks at the end. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Hey, if it was good enough for our boys, it's good enough for John, And there came like one great badass moment where the power went out, the inmates were released. John is like coming in on his wheelchair with like one of those flashing sticks, and the inmates are like, "Oh, look who it is, Warden Cripple." And what does John do? He just jumps out of his wheelchair, slices one of the guy's throat off with that fork in his prosthetic, beats up the other guys with one arm and one leg, I might add to you, And he's like, "Anybody else want to prove top dog?" And then you have one of the inmates who's like shaking. He just grabs a wheelchair and brings it up to John. Here's your seat, Warden. Like, he does do some good stuff, audience. All right, is what I'm trying to say.
Do you remember what he said about She-Hulk?
I know where you're going with, Jay. The MCU She-Hulk was the most comic accurate She-Hulk. Sorry, Jake. This is when I say, when you're good, you're good. When you're bad, you're worse. So.
I was looking. Okay, so I don't want you to think I brought this up out of nowhere. I was looking for the article that talked about this, and so it came up. I was like, did we ever talk about this? This seems like a big thing to talk about.
What did I miss?
I was saying that Dan Slott was the one who said, "This is the most comic accurate show I've ever seen." No. I wrote so much of She-Hulk, and if anyone who says that She-Hulk wouldn't twerk with Megan Thee Stallion, there's a comic of her. What was it? Where is it? Jump roping in a bikini.
I believe that. Also, everyone tends to forget that the Marvel swimsuit special exists. I don't know why they can't bring that back. I think they should bring it back with
that.
Used to see some of the older heroes in. I don't want to see no younger characters.
Yeah.
I don't want
when he hit Jake. Jake, when he hits a bullseye, he hits a bullseye. When he aims for a target, he actually hits a bullseye and says, "Yeah, I was on target." Like
I know. I'm just saying, like, listen, he apparently he's wrote more She-Hulk than anyone, according to him. He has something to say. But
Yeah,
I,
you know
I,
what? I recall seeing one channel comment on that. It's funny how people look at Dan Slott like he's the guru of comics, when in fact he's the court jester of comics. Come on, he's entertaining, Jake. All right? Does he make you
well,
laugh?
that was a little,
Pulling through the Goodfellas.
I don't read enough Dan Slott to care.
Hmm.
well, that was a little bit of a light jest before we got to the main talk. I just wanted to bring it up because
I'm just saying. I've read more Chris Cantwell books than I ever had Dan Slott books. Just saying, and I have a lovely relationship with that man.
But Dan Slott has finally announced that he is done with Dr. Octopus until Marvel hands him a check and says, "Do it again." So.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he literally just says, I said, I've written everything I have to say with Otto, at this point. I know you guys were bringing up in his last Superior Spider-Man run, right? That it sounds like he's just repeating the journey Otto's already gone through. Well, keep in mind, if you're writing a character for 10 years, you're bound to repeat some beats, all right, guys? Um, in terms of like he actually just goes on and gives more insight as to like what was going down with the last Superior Spider-Man series. Originally, like Marvel's the one who actually went up to him, since it's going to be Superior Spider-Man's anniversary. They wanted him to write a story, and he originally just pitched 3 what ifs. Actually, what if another villain took over Peter Parker's body? All right. What
Okay.
if he didn't make the deal with Mephisto at the end?
Don't we have a timeline for that?
No, this was like this was the second time when Superior Spider-Man ended. It was written by Christoph Cage.
No,
That was a really good one.
Don't we have a what if already? What if Peter's marriage just had a normal conclusion, and that was the Spider-Girl story?
But no, this was concerning Otto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What if another villain took Peter's body instead of Otto?
Yeah.
And I forgot what the third one was, but regardless, like Marvel just said, no, we're actually giving you a series, so up to it. So yeah. Again, it's hard to write a character for so long, but at the same time, at the end, like several endings of your run, you had to bring the character right back in the toy box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't have any strong feelings about this. I mean, good, I guess, but he's probably going to write him again. As long as he's at Marvel, they're going to ask him to do it. He's really just saying it's what my boss tells me, right?
Yeah. He says he might just write him in the capacity of like, a background villain for a Sinister Six or whatever, But aside from that, yeah, he doesn't want to do any more Otto stuff. More people know him for his work as Otto than even Spider-Man, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's good, but that's not really up to him. It sounds like it's not even up to him if he writes Otto. So
oh, look who showed up. Hold on a sec. Look who showed up.
To talk about Dan Slott, his favorite writer, Austin, the wall.
My lights didn't come back on to hear that bullshit I tuned into.
Audience, I remembered to bring him back from the dead. Sorry about that.
Yeah. You came in right as we were talking about Dan Slott, Austin.
Trust me, I connected Alpha Flight to the new Ultimate Universe. So
if you can go in quickly, you can recap on anything you were interested in.
I don't know some of this stuff. What was Ultimate Hawkeye?
He's a new indigenous character.
He had a badass suit. That's what
it was a really cool design. Look it up.
I'll check it out in a minute. I'm not in my room. I thought the Terminator. I thought that looked okay. I did look good.
Yeah. Austin, I could bring up that picture of Ultimate Hawkeye for a bit. Hold on a sec.
You missed our riveting review of another evil Superman story that ended in an episode.
Thank God.
Yeah. It's easier to deconstruct a character.
What did you think about Red Hulk in the trailer? I need to know because I missed that part. My life to fill out.
I liked it. I'm excited for what we saw. I'm all amped up to see that fight between him and Captain America.
The only thing I wanted to add to that conversation was that it's kind of funny because we know, looking at comic news, that Giancarlo Cito just joined the cast with the reshoot.
Oh,
So to see him
I
all in the trailer was really crazy.
Oh man, that's something we forgot to talk about actually. Okay, so yeah, I he looked badass in the scenes that we saw of him in the trailer, but I just find it funny that I'm pretty sure we're not going to see any scenes between him and Captain America, you know?
Nah,
Yeah, I think they're setting up Weapons Plus.
Mm. Funny enough, they still haven't announced who he's playing,
Yeah, I think he's playing the head of Weapon Plus. I think they're setting up Weapon Plus.
but they didn't announce it. That's the thing.
Hmm.
His character is still unannounced. Oh, by the way, Austin, this is the Ultimate Hawkeye, the new one.
Oh, you mean pull it up like that? Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
cool.
It looks
Yeah,
like
I like
if
the
Batman had an Arrow sidekick.
design. I was about to say, like, if this is an amalgamation between Hawkeye and Red Wolf, since those two are good buddies in 616.
And we ain't seen Red Wolf in years. I forgot
miss
about
him
Red. I
too.
forgot to do with a character.
I miss the dude
And
too.
I brought up some ideas of what they could have done by using a couple examples,
Mhm.
you know. And they
True.
and they were like, "Oh, if you read the Bible, you can connect it to Alpha Flight." I probably
Yeah.
would have. I just don't read the Bible.
Which I'll talk about Spider Boy tomorrow, and I want you to try connecting that to Alpha Flight. So
That Web Spider
Okay.
Boy spun, that reminds me of the panel from Alpha Flight.
From that one random ass issue, issue 97.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh wait, no,
Well-
I can actually do it right now.
Yeah.
So Spider Boy likes to hang around Spider Man,
Say-
and there was an issue. It was I think a Spider-Man comic, doesn't really matter, where they crossed over with Alpha Flight, where Peter Parker was in the black suit, and he
See, audience.
low-key kidnaps Aurora, and Northstar was like, "What the fuck, man? I hate you." And he shows up, and Spider-Man does show up to Northstar's wedding. Just letting you know. There you go. Connected Spider-Boy to Alpha Flight. There you fucking go.
There you go.
All right. Before y'all go to the next topic, I have two questions about two other topics.
I
Yeah,
thought this was the last topic.
this was the last topic.
Yeah,
But
we're
okay,
done. We're really done.
we still got time. So go ahead.
Why is Joe Garrison back? Did they say anything about that?
He's going to be fighting Elektra Daredevil. He's going to be popping up in the Daredevil.
But why
book,
though?
fighting Elektra.
This book.
Also, that topic was hilarious. That topic was hilarious because he introduced this topic. And I think we were both like, "Who?"
There was a Punisher who had like 3 issues. The book failed.
Jake.
No one liked it, and they said, "Oh, I guess we're doing a crossover book."
Yeah.
Jake, I mean Austin, they don't want to admit he's a failure. That's the thing,
Hey, it was to the point where this writer, one issue before the book ended, was like, "Oh, I'm so excited to show you all the stories I got planned. I have multiple story arcs written out that I want to get on the paper." So the next issue comes out and the book's canceled. He's like, "Oh, I only intended for B5 issues. I never wanted."
Yeah, he already announced I'm going to give Joe Garrison something that Frank Castle never had, a full rogues gallery and 4 issues. That's it. It was always meant to be a miniseries. Audience,
Punisher has a rogues gallery. He's not the Punisher.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure. You have more than 4 villains still alive. Main villains.
Yep. But yeah.
Let me see. There was one more. Oh yeah, the Iron Man series. I'm actually really excited for that.
Do you know who the writer is?
It's Spencer Ackerman, right? I saw some of this article beforehand. I ain't gonna read the whole thing though.
He's basically Ta-Nehisi Coates. He's a journalist. He apparently did some work for I forgot what news media he did it. But he has done work in the media before, and he's written books, but he's never written a comic.
I'm fine with giving
a whole different beast compared to normal books.
I'm fine with giving him a chance with Iron Man. I feel like Iron Man is an okay entry level book to write.
But here's the thing, like when I was looking through, okay, what has he written before? There's this one book he's written that makes me kind of iffy as to what he thinks of Iron Man himself. And the book I'm talking about is how 9/11 destabilized America and produced Trump. And after hearing that title, I'm thinking, oh shoot, what do you think of Iron Man in that case? Another
I
billionaire.
brought
To
up
be fair, that could give
Yeah,
him a unique take on Iron Man, but I don't think this is the time for that type of Iron Man.
yeah.
I brought up that just because he is a news writer doesn't mean he brings in his news to the writing room. But and I say
Well, when
I mean,
Jake, I agree with you. But the problem is, and I think the problem is that we're getting used to more and more writers doing that now
that's
than they
fair.
used to in the past.
I just wanted to bring that up because I was like, I'm a
yeah,
freelance
and,
journalist, but
and
like I wouldn't
yeah,
bring in a lot of my
and,
political views if I'm writing about like
If
fucking like, Iron Man or
and,
Sonic or something
if
like that.
you know,
Marvel showed me anything, if they have any political views that they can shove into a book,
But
they'll probably do it in recent years.
yeah,
To
Austin,
the
and I
point where
also
they had
mentioned,
Captain America flip on everything he ever stood for because the guy had an opposite point of view than what Captain had.
yep. It's funny you should bring that up, Austin, because that's also another thing I mentioned. Marvel, don't put this guy in Captain America. I
I'm
know
fine.
that's going to be a landmine. I know what this guy's going to do. It's going to be another Nick Spencer situation.
Yeah, I'm fine with him doing Iron Man because you can easily do the type of story that he wants to tell. Just make a person who represents what Iron Man used to be, that the guy would
Yeah.
hate. You can have Iron Man
hmm
fight that. That could be a good story if you tell that correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as you don't change Tony Stark into what he hates, I think this book can be okay. Do we
Okay.
know if the marriage with the girl is staying?
Nah. Well, I don't think it's just going to be mentioned. I think
he's not,
legally they're still married, but
he's
Yeah.
married to Emma. I saw little.
legally,
I thought they were starting to work. I was like,
I
damn.
mean,
As a
what's
couple, they're
more?
pretty good but I think Emma could do better. But as a couple together, they're pretty good.
Listen, if she has to date
Uh,
down
they-
so I can be interested in Iron Man, I think that's okay. I think that's
I mean, y'all know that technically, Daredevil, Matt Murdock and Elektra are married by the
Yeah,
hand standards.
everybody by the hands. Yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah.
and he also loves a different woman, by the way, but he couldn't be with her.
Gotcha.
Remember when he loved that
Also,
widow? That was crazy.
oh wow, when he spanked her in the butt.
But listen, it was a different time.
That was a blue call lady. Okay, that was not their relationship. Though people really like their relationship, I don't get it, but whatever.
Gotcha. Oh, also another thing I wanted to bring up in that Captain America trailer, I didn't like the mask at first, but seeing the fact that Sam is going full on breaking
Yeah,
the sound
he's breaking
barrier,
the
I'm
sound
like,
barrier. I'm like, I'll let it slide. I
yeah,
did the same
you
thing.
know,
I was like,
yeah, I know that.
oh,
I know,
this Sam is different.
yeah, like I know this. I know that had to have been done for China reasons, but okay, you gave an explanation. I'll give you that.
Oh, we also had a deviated discussion about Secret Invasion and how.
Oh yeah, we went off on Secret Invasion. That was
Yeah.
ass.
We were talking about.
But I swear, Sam had to sit down with another black with Isaiah Bradley. Like, man, come on, the black struggle. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave out the film.
I was saying.
Wait, guys. What if Isaiah's a scroll? That's why he shot the president.
No, we brought that up. No. I said that would be like another point where people would not have liked Secret Invasion if it was like the comics. My argument was like there was very few ways you could have done the Secret Invasion in the MCU where the payoff would have justified people watching movies and like the movies not being the characters they wanted to be in there. Basically,
I think people would have been fine with it if there's actual setup. Not, actually, we retconned to the scrolls been here the whole time. You had the scrolls show up on Earth. Everyone know they're here, so then they can play the guessing game of who got switched out from that point on. I think that would have been fun.
Also, I have some breaking news that I want to bring up, so I'll let you finish your Secret Invasion topic.
I came up with the idea that some characters, I feel like you could write it in. I feel like if you said Carol Danvers, Sharon Carter was Crypto's idea. My idea was Carol Danvers, but after the first movie, and the one that comes back is like their first attempt at a Super Skrull. And like that's the one that we saw fight Thanos. And the real Carol Danvers would be in space somewhere trying to fight her way back, while the fake Skrull is doing like in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, where like Captain America's trying to rally the people, but it's Skrull.
People like Carol Danvers though. I don't think that people care about that twist.
I think people wouldn't have cared, but it would have been safe. I think you could have made people care on her fight all the way back. I think you could have.
They can't make people care in a good movie. I doubt doing the twist with her would make people try to care more.
We could try. We could
Okay,
try.
what I would have did was after you introduced the Skrulls, I would have had the Carol movie end with the Skrulls coming to Earth, saying they're going to do that, and then from that point on, you have to play the guess game to figure out who is going to replace from that point. So there's a safe point of your characters up to a degree, where you don't have to worry about it.
But do you make these characters people that you watch movies about? I think that's something like, because like imagine if like, I'm not saying this, I don't think you would have picked this, but let's say like, for instance, you chose Spider-Man and then you watch No Way Home and it's an amazing movie, and then you find out that that wasn't even like the real Spider-Man. You just be like,
no. What I mean is, so say right after No Way Home, I had the Skrulls come on Earth.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if a character returns from that point on, from that moment they can be replaced.
Okay.
You know that before the movie comes out, that this character or that character might be replaced. I wouldn't do it to Spider-Man. Carol, like you said, would be an interesting choice. But I'll have big people. I think people need to care about the character before they got replaced, for it to mean something now. I'd have had Nick Fury get replaced.
We saw that example Wabba War Machine where everybody hated that. Like when they saw like Endgame, now they're thinking like the one when War Machine was saying those farewells to Iron Man in Endgame. Oh, so that was a Skrull? Oh god,
exactly.
We hate it.
That's why I think you got to give them a safe point where it's like, oh, Skrull just landed at this point. So whenever from this point on, they could do it. But I would have had Nick Fury replaced, and since Steve is missing to the public eye, I would have had a Skrull go around acting as Steve in the public eye. I think that would have fucked with people.
I think Nick Fury could have been a great Skrull spy. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Can I bring up our breaking news?
What is it?
So according to the writer of the new NYX book, he broke up Tommy Shepard, aka Speed, and David Elaine, aka Prodigy, off panel, and everyone in the Young Avengers fandom is pissed the fuck off.
And they should be. I'm so sick of that. I hate Marvel couples, bro. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, okay, so they're being treated like a straight couple of Marvel. There you go.
Hey, you know what?
The writer is giving him a new boyfriend in this immediately after saying that he breaking up Tommy and David, which makes no sense. What purpose does that serve?
They do.
Like,
they
Tommy's
do that.
Going through it. Give him something nice.
They do that with America Chavez all the time.
Yeah, she gets a new girlfriend every book.
Yeah.
Regardless, keep in mind, Tommy's already been going through the ringer. Like, can we have one nice thing happen to him? No? Great. Okay.
I feel like, so I think in our Secret Invasion, we replaced Carol Danvers, Nick Fury, Sharon Carter.
Like I said, bro, with Steve not being on Earth, or people thinking Steve's dead, but the public not knowing what happened, I did a whole conspiracy thing with Steve being a Skrull.
But we would have known that because the end of Endgame.
So the fans would have known that. But you could have did something with the Captain America movie because the world doesn't know that. Who they're going to stand with? This random Steve placement or Sam? I guess there's a compelling story you can tell with this from the public's point of view in a film.
The only reason I wouldn't want to go with that is because I
wouldn't do it first. To be fair, Sam would have to establish himself as Captain America before. Like full on.
I don't want to run the risk of like saying like Steve wasn't Steve when he was giving Sam the shield, because that's just going to take the whole idea. Oh my god! So you're telling me like that moment where Steve gave Sam the shield and his blessings to be Captain America, that was actually a devious plan by the Skrulls?
No, really? I'm not saying he come back an old man. I mean, he come back young. We know that he's a Skrull, but the public and like the universe doesn't know.
He's
manipulating the public in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Against like Steve.
It'll be like to introduce the Skrull plot. It'll be like so the next time you see Captain America, like you see Steve first as a young man, you're like, that's not true. That's not what I saw. And then you're just thinking like Skrulls, and then like you start trying to be like, well, who else is a Skrull? Because
I think them using Steve, who is the most influential character you can do, especially you're trying to be like, oh, y'all should leave Skrulls alone. Skrulls on the planet. Y'all should be okay with this. Steve will be the main spokesperson for that. I feel like them controlling that media outlet through Steve could be like a big plot.
But I think the problem with that is, the Avengers know what's up with Steve. So it's like if they see like immediately, they're gonna be like, well, that's not real. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm saying that would be in that movie specifically. I wouldn't say like oh, you build up to it. He's in like background and stuff. That'll be what you reveal in the movie, like the final steps they're playing.
Oh, okay. And then like Steve Rogers comes out.
Like, and like how they didn't know about the scrolls in the comics until they got the Scroll Queen by accident, type thing. So like that, it would be Steve in charge. Well, them using the image of Steve to manipulate the American people to accept scrolls, so it'd make it easier to replace certain people, like that.
So you just want them to do the whole Earth's Mightiest Hero show?
I forgot that was a thing, to be honest. But you gotta do that. maybe I throw the whole plot in my head. Just do that.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna use Carol for. I was gonna use Carol to be Steve in that point, but I didn't think about bringing Steve back. That's what I was gonna say. But
I did that more so people have a safety net and like some insurance, and then I did like the surprise scrolls of Carol and Nick Fury and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then Carol Danvers comes back like, "Oh my God, what have they done to my reputation that I just got back?"
My reputation, I got thanks to Ant-Man talking to me in a book.
Right. That novel. But yeah, basically this is all to say that there was not much to talk about with Dan Slott being done with Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
Wait, with Disney Twisted Wonderland, was this a book? They're making a show?
Yeah, they're Viz Media is releasing the 4th volume of the Heartstopia manga.
Oh, okay. Make it a show.
Mm-hmm. I only have the first 2 volumes, but once I see 3, damn well I'm gonna buy it, and damn well when 4 drops, I'm also gonna get it.
Cool. Also, Austin, one thing I forgot to mention to you that I brought up when we were talking about the Cap trailer. Seeing Sam break the sound barrier, right? All I can think about is if he's going to fight the Hulk, he better be coming in with a charging star, man. Come on.
I would love for them just to start doing Marvel's Capcom moves. I'll lose my shit.
Yep.
I was asking Cryptid, so how do you, because we were talking about the logistics of how many punches could Sam take, and then Cryptid was like, no, he's just gonna we compared it to the scene from Justice League when Flash runs around the world and punches Lex Luthor. Like that's kind of what the intensity we wanted.
The problem with that scene, that is, if you look at this poster right here that you have up, Red Hulk is bending the shield.
We brought that up too.
So if that's his legit strength level, those wings get folded like immediately.
That's what I said. I said the same thing.
They might have made him a little bit too strong based on appearance right now.
I said he gets one good punch on those wings, and if that suit isn't made of vibranium, Sam is dead.
And also, I like to also bring up, remember, even a fighter jet shooting its bullets and rocket launchers or whatever couldn't hit Sam. And that was in Captain America 2, remember?
No, to be fair, that's in the air. But when he comes down to get a hit, he got to come in close.
Mm-hmm.
If Red Hulk has any reaction speed, close enough just to grab Sam, it might be over.
I'm just saying, the wings were also strong enough to cut the wings off of other fighter jets. So it's not that
those wings got ripped off by John Walker.
No, these are the new wings. His upgraded. These are the
trailer.
In the trailer, So it's not out of the realm of possibility to see that the wings could possibly cut and even pierce Red Hulk.
This is a movie, so he's gonna get punched. I just gotta wonder what's the logistics of him surviving.
It's not even just that. We don't even know they're gonna use Red Hulk's real power, which is the fire gamma shit.
Yeah. Regardless, Austin, we're still going to get a Savage Hulk, which is damn well what everybody's been asking for.
Sam's either going to win with cancer, or he's going to die. If Red Hulk start doing gamma radiation in this man's face.
Austin, they kind of did reference that once. This was like in Rick Remender's run, the run that had Sam Wilson be Captain America. You remember where Zola had a bomb set up in New York?
Oh,
Sam Wilson did that sacrificial play. He grabbed the bomb, flew as high as he could, and everybody was thinking oh my God, even if he lets go, he's still gonna get blasted by the radiation. And then Sam Wilson survives because apparently the vibranium absorbed most of the radiation. So boom.
To be fair, he might, if he can slip off the back part of his suit, He might
Yeah.
get to just attack that the Red Hulk in his nigga space, like real shit.
There you go. There you go. You
And
know.
then he,
But
if they play
but
up
hey,
the fact that Red Hulk,
this is. Go ahead.
I thought that if they play up the fact that Red Hulk, unlike Hulk, doesn't get physically stronger, I think also he might have a chance as well because he should be base level.
There you go.
But never
There
getting
you
stronger.
go.
So I saw that before. But
There you go. You know. I hate. This is what I like. I like the fact that you have to use your mind to be creative in this fight. You know. I mean,
yeah,
tired of all the mirror matches in Marvel. And this sometimes I want to see a steel Pokemon go up against a fire Pokemon, or a ground Pokemon go up against a grass
that's what I was.
Pokemon, or
That's what I was
etc. You
mad
know
about because some people
what?
were complaining about the idea of like this is what comics do all the time. This is the most
Yeah,
comic shit I've seen in my life.
yeah.
But
yeah.
they're gonna put Sam in a situation where he should not win, and he's gonna somehow win, and he has to be smart about it, and it has to make sense. So as long as
This,
as long as it makes sense, it should be okay.
this is the
Yep.
definition of the Stan Lee mindset, where it's like it's
Yeah.
whoever always want to win.
I have an idea that looks pretty cool.
Right.
You gonna just
Mhm.
draw out whoever wins. I'm gonna write a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, really hyped for this movie and all that stuff. You know, so
yeah. And again, this
Austin,
goes-
you also missed out on my list. So,
Mhm.
if you want me to send you the list, I can send you the list later.
it's
Yeah, send me a
Schindler's.
list.
It's Schindler's List. Okay, be careful.
Send me the list.
Or totally Schindler's List.
But yeah, so we
Oh, I just realized something. He shaved his mustache. We're not gonna get the mustache, man. That's kind of disappointing.
they had to make it
love
make sense.
American Hulk with the mustache. Red Hulk with the mustache. I think it looks great.
But that wasn't even Red Hulk in the comics, man. That wasn't Thunderbolt
I
There was
Ross's
a
Red
second
Hulk.
Red
Red
Hulk.
Hulk,
That was pretty cool.
Mhm.
He had
But,
shades on.
The reason they had to get rid of the mustache when he turned into Red Hulk was because that was going to be too obvious of who he was. Because
Yeah.
there's a mystery, you know.
But
maybe since they had it like that in the trailers, but they're gonna change it for the actual movie.
Well, the actual actor
Oh.
said he didn't have a mustache, so I don't think they're gonna give Red Hulk a mustache.
Maybe he's lying to us. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah,
Wow,
I put clear tape on my
wow,
mustache. They'll never see it.
wow, guys! You guys really want Captain America to fight another bad guy with a mustache? Okay, I see what you guys mean.
Yes, because we
Listen.
have concluded that mustaches are evil.
but
Yeah, and
listen,
also like it helps make him even more different than Bruce Banner's Hulk.
Mhm.
But listen, we cared so much about Dan Slott. We went back to the old shit we talked about. But I think that's enough time, all the time we have for today. So,
All right,
Yeah.
audience.
Able to work on my fan fiction and my cosplay.
yeah.
So, audience, if you want updates on the fan fiction I'm writing, hit me up on my socials because I will talk about this for hours.
Will we get a live reading of your fan fiction?
Fuck no! I'll send you the AO3 link, but
Okay.
I won't read it out loud.
But don't forget Anime Night this Wednesday. And listen,
Anime Night this Wednesday. Bring your Let's talk about
Anytime.
anime. I will be talking about older stuff because the older stuff deserves just as much love as the newer stuff.
I can't promise you that Boruto will be there, but I do promise you Pokemon will be there. And we all love Pokemon. So.
We'll also
I might not
be
be able
here
to make it. I do have to work, but if I do make it, I'm going to talk about the new manga that's going out and showing the jump.
Cool. Well, hopefully we'll see all y'all tomorrow for our comic book night, audience.
Yeah.
So, all right. With that, we're closing out. Bye.